We're
got
there
8:30. So even though that costs you something different, I'm going to call.
It's 8:30.
I'm going to call the meeting for February 26th, 2025 to order. Lucy, do you call the roll, please?
Supervisor Conway.
Here.
Trustee Bowman.
Here.
Wilhite. Sam.
Here.
Who is this? Betsy.
I'm here.
Okay. I'll get that last name soon. Director Dillon.
Here.
Who am I missing? Is the highway guy here?
Right.
Highway guy, yeah. I left my contact, it's gone haywire. Who else do I have? Got everybody right there? Penny, got Penny.
Okay.
Well, the list is from 2 years ago, so I'm ad-libbing.
Oh.
Just a minute.
I can tell you what date that. Let me see, make sure you got everybody. Okay, let's see.
You got them all.
Yes, trustee. Okay. Well, Trustee Siddiqui is not here yet. She's on her way though.
Right.
Okay.
So I didn't,
Mark the floor. Okay, we're good. Well, please stand and
Oh,
let me.
Township Manager.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Trustee, can you please display this as well?
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe they left with us. Let's see that. Okay. All right. Okay, we'll start with public comment. Anybody here to speak, please
I have a public comment.
state your name and tell us who you are.
My name is Dawn Stephan. I am the region director for Big Brothers Big Sisters in Lake County. Has anyone heard of Big Brothers Big Sisters? We're a one-to-one mentoring organization. We pair adult volunteers with kids between the ages of 7 and 18 for a mentoring relationship. We do amazing work. Our kids graduate from high school. They have plans for after they graduate. They don't get incarcerated or locked up. They tell us that they have better relationships with the people in their life. And we have launched a program with Ely Township. We are meeting at the community center on Thursday nights. We have, I think, 15 adults from this area signed up to be mentors, and we're actively recruiting kids. If any of you guys know, especially girls, because we have a lot of female bigs signed up right now, we would love referrals, and I brought you flyers so you could keep them for more information too. But we have applied for a grant. We would use that grant to help support operations. We have a program facilitator who professionally facilitates the program every hour or every other week for an hour and a half. We bring all the supplies and the snacks. We have a caseworker who's dedicated to this program and talks to the big, the parent, and the child on a regular basis. That's to make sure that everybody is safe, and then also to advance this relationship.
Can you just kind of quickly run me through the venting program of your
Vetting?
The people that you hire or don't come to partner
Our
with
volunteers
you,
or our employees?
Both.
So all of our employees have an FBI background check. They have references. We have two different programs. The one we're launching here is called the site-based program. It's the bigs and the littles, so we call our volunteers bigs, we call our kids littles. Bigs and littles are never alone together. So they're in a group, up to 20 matches with our facilitator. So we do a DCFS background check. We do references, so we ask everyone for 3 references, and an interview for that site-based program, where they would never be one-on-one with their kid. They'd always be in a group. For community-based, where the big picks the child up at their house, takes them out and does something with them, and then brings them back to their house, we do a fingerprint FBI background check. We do a DCFS check, a DMV check, and more references.
One last question.
Yeah.
How do you go out and look for people that you go to the high school and talk
Susan's
to
done an amazing job at the senior center, and we've gotten a ton of people to volunteer. And I don't know how else people are hearing about it, but we've had a lot of younger people volunteer too. I've reached out to the school district for kids.
Yeah.
We've reached out to
Is that where most of the kids come from? high school?
No, we serve kids 7 to 18, but I don't know if you know a lot of high schoolers. They don't usually raise their hand to be mentored. When we catch them when they're like in middle school or 5th grade, then they stick with their mentors all the way till 18. So we like to match kids between the ages of 7 and middle school if possible, because then it sticks a little better. And there are some high schoolers who are like, yeah, I do need a mentor. Like, I want to go to college. Nobody else in my family's been to college. I want someone who could help me with that. But they're not the normal teenager. So we'll match them all the way up to 17. But we serve kids. We even serve, we've been keeping our matches open even longer because young adults is a hard time. And they need their mentor. And we know that once you've been with a kid for a while, you're sticking with them for life. So if they take advantage of the resources we have, we love to keep them. So yes, all of the the Ela Township bigs are pretty much. I think we have 3 still in process. All the rest are ready to go. So we're looking for kids. So if you guys know kids in the area,
Have you met with Sarah?
No, Sarah's on maternity leave.
I know. I didn't.
Oh.
yeah, I haven't. But we reached out to summer camp. We got a few from that. I got the Toys Tots list for this area, so we got kids from that. I've been working with District 95. So, you know, we're aggressive. But word of mouth is the best.
Have you put any flyers in Liberty Lakes?
You know what, I just got introduced to Ingrid, who is their
that's
social.
That's another
Yeah, so she already has like a couple families in mind, and yeah, so that's, flyers at Liberty Lakes is a great idea.
I forgot. I want to see how many littles do we have right now?
I think we have like 2 matches have been made, and we have 6 on the list. So we need, I'm confident for us to get a lot more bigs too, because we really haven't worked that hard, and we have a whole bunch. And it's obviously people in this area have soft hearts for kids.
Are you from it, sir?
I'm not.
I was just thinking the name, know that name.
Yeah.
Different name.
Reform school.
That would all be on my husband, though, not me.
That's right.
I'll be on him. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions for Dawn? Okay.
I have flyers. I'm going to pass them around. Please take
Sure.
one. One is from the adult point of view, and one is from the kids' point of view. So thank you, and thanks for your consideration.
Thank you.
I gave you all my cards. Feel free to call me, email me. And on the back of the card is a QR code. If you know someone who would like to enroll a child or sign up to mentor, you can just have them scan the QR code.
And just so everybody knows, they're doing the program at the community center.
Thursday nights? Tomorrow night?
2 Thursday nights a month. Just so it's clear. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the QR code on here? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the QR code's right there on the bottom. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to administrative updates. We'll leave it up to Ted.
Just a couple of things. At this point, I'm sure everybody's aware, as a part of the Governor's State of the State address, he introduced an initiative to make it easier to consolidate or eliminate townships completely. Since this speech, the bill has been introduced. It's SB 2504. Basically, the bill does what the governor spoke about in the State of the State. It looks to lower the petition threshold from the current 10% down to 5% of voters of the last township election to get a referendum on the ballot to eliminate the township. So, in coordination with MTAs, with the Metropolitan Township Association, and TOI, the township officials of Illinois, we're all kind of currently formulating our campaign against this bill to ensure that it doesn't progress any further.
Doesn't come out of committee.
Right. So the first kind of while we formulate the campaign, we do think it's super important though that we get the word out that this has started. So there's no surprises to anybody, even when we come calling asking for assistance on this matter. So to date, Gloria and I have attended the Hawthorne Woods board meeting, and last night was Long Grove, and we plan on doing that for all of the municipalities in the township. Just to get the word out, so when I email Chris at Long Grove and say, hey, we need your help, kind of, getting the information out, they have context. Additional.
This is proposed, it's not passed yet?
No, it's not fair.
Hasn't left committee yet, so-
It was just introduced committee, but that's where we wanted. I gotta be careful. Yes, the bill has not passed yet.
Okay.
You have to put it on November probably to vote.
Well, so it's a whole process. So even if the bill passes and becomes law, we're not closing our doors at that moment, right? It'll be a whole second phase of conditions that would have to happen.
Once it goes, on the ballot.
But on
People
top,
they don't understand, and they want to do away with government. The threshold used to be 10%.
and so, but not only that, but it also includes language to allow counties to vote county-wide referendums to eliminate all townships within the county. So it's more than just local, the other township residents. So ELA might not have an issue, but if the other areas do want to see it, it could fail, and then we would be included in that if it was a countywide initiative.
But he did make it sound as if this was going to help him balance his budget, and this has nothing to do with his budget. There's no way going to do that.
They don't want to get rid of it, they want to consolidate?
Either one.
Yeah.
So the referendum would call for essentially the elimination of the township, and then it would be up to the county to either create a new ELA-Vernon hybrid or just get rid of it altogether.
So, who would create the referendum?
So it would require, if we just talk about at the ELA township level. So right now,
It had to be a resident that said, I want to get a referendum going?
exactly. So right now, it would to get the referendum on the ballot, they would require 10% of the voters of the last township election. So let's just say 100 people voted in the last township election, then 10 petition signatures would be required to get it on the next ballot. He wants to reduce that threshold from 10 to 5.
Yeah.
Did you give him the phone?
I emailed it to everybody.
What a moron.
Well, so so we just want to get the information out of what SB 2504, how it could impact our residents. So again, we're kind of in our phase one. We don't really have a solid game plan yet. We're still working with all these organizations. But in the meantime, I did call for a staff meeting on Friday just to, again, make people aware that this is happening, not to sound any bells, alarm anybody. But I don't want people to come at me 3 months later and say, hey, this is in the works. Why didn't I just hear about it? And then additionally, on Monday after the morning movers class at the community center, I will be, again, just making the residents, the seniors who attend the community center events just aware that SB 2504 exists while we work on coordinating a more uniform game plan.
Do you have any plans to meet with the state representative?
Yes, so I have emailed out to Nabila. Unfortunately, we're in a situation where we don't have a current state senator, so we're waiting for that whole situation to play out before I reach out to somebody, because there's nobody to reach out to. And then I also reached out to Mike Quigley, since he assisted us with that grant application, to get to hear back, but I emailed him this week. So, because this all came to fruition. We had a meeting Monday at like 2:30 that lasted until 4. And then we had to get to Auburn was at 5.
Yeah.
So
let's just put something together quick and go.
It's been a whirlwind ever since.
We're going to get the word out, and we'll figure out what we're going to do, and I'll leave you guys, get you guys all informed what we're going to do. The plan is. I suggested we get all the village administrators here from our municipalities so that they can help us with the plan, whether we get letters, a form letter, and have people sign it and submit it to their particular, first of all, it could be county board. That's number one, besides our state rep and our senators. Or 2, do we just do like a petition ourselves saying we don't want it, and then get people to sign it? We could probably do both, but it's just getting that organized. So we're working on it. We're trying to figure out what other townships are doing as well. So that's the plan. So we got that. Anything else?
Yeah, and then additionally, I just want to give everybody a heads up, I will not be at the March board meeting. Theo has his kindergarten recital. I only get one of those with him ever, so I don't want to miss that one. So I know it's a big meeting because, we have the budget discussion, so I'm hoping most questions will be answered here today. of course, if anything comes up between the end of this meeting and 5:30 on board day, or any questions regarding the budget, I'll be here.
Okay. But I did say this is the third time they're trying to get rid of the township.
I know, we know that, but it's changed a little bit now, so it's not just one county, it's the governor, and it's a bigger, and he's lowered the threshold.
Rauner campaigned on it.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That's true.
There was a big, yeah, Durham was the last
Right?
one.
Yeah.
but I won't say that. Okay. So, and then, are you done? Or do you want, we're going to talk about MGT later then, when we get to the budget stuff? Okay.
Oh, I mean, I guess I can bring that in now because it's not, so, the MGT process with the responses has been delayed because we had a lack of responses from the townships. So to kind of progress this along, we actually FOIA other townships to get the information. And so we sent out 11 requests for information, and we've already received back 5. So, which is more than MGT got just asking people to do it. So, it's moving along, and we hope to have it. The information should be completed by the March council.
What's their time frame to respond?
5 days.
The FOIA?
5 days.
Yes.
Okay.
So we should have,
And they're complying? No. We had this at,
All but one. There was one who.
that's an exception.
No,
right?
no. They didn't respond correctly. So we kind of,
Put it back.
put it back on them, showed them why they were wrong, and so, yeah.
Mhm.
But we were still within the 5-day window of most responses. So
okay.
to read, we got back the next day, so that was great.
Oh.
Yeah. So 5 days will be up this week.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unless they ask for an extension, then they can get an additional 5 days.
Right.
And when will they have the spreadsheet updated then?
As I'm getting the responses, I'm sending them over to MG to. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
No more from.
So I didn't get this in time to bring forward, but I just wanted to let you know that I had reached out to our structural engineer again, Paul Virgilio, regarding, he's the one that did the structural work with the engineer, or the design, the architect to do the staircase, the emergency staircase, and now that we have, that kind of fell through the cracks because they never showed up to do the work after they were hired. We're pretty much starting all over again. But so to make this hopefully more inviting to other people to bid on the project, now that we have the issue with the bricks falling off of the building on the north side of the building, I mean, you can actually see cracks going down between the bricks, and it's not just a matter of tuck pointing. There's a problem with the balcony, the two patios upstairs. There's balcony slab water damage that's dripping between them. They were never sealed properly or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there should have been maybe a little lip that was put on the edge of the patio to have the water drain off of it a different way once the snow's there, So anyway, we got issues. So in order for him to continue moving forward with the work, he's asking for another $5,500 now that we're adding the whole brickwork to this job. So I will put this on our agenda for approval at the board meeting so we can keep moving on this project. Okay? So that's all I have under supervisor's report. So we'll go to committee updates. We'll start with community center.
Happy birthday, Lucy, and
Yes.
thank you for 14 years service season on your anniversary. We had a meeting last Friday. We're going to talk about the generator under habits later.
Yep.
Passport processing is on hold for staffing purposes. Do you want to give the 501c3 update that we talked about, or wait until the future meeting?
Well, I don't think I do bring 501c3 with me. I can talk about a brief thing. I don't know. This is a separate thing, though. I don't know if this should fall under your committee necessarily, because it's not just community center that's involved. That's township-wide now.
Oh, okay.
So it involves health and wellness as well. But I can give a report, but
Okay, yeah, it was just under.
I know. You had it on there. I get it.
So,
Well, for everybody who's interested, we have started a 501c3 committee. Doug generously volunteered to help help with the filing of the documents because it's quite lengthy. So we've had 2 meetings now. So Sarah was involved in the first 2. Susan, me, Ted, and Doug were the members of this committee. So we've met twice. We've written up, some of the work was done previously when the community center was going to start a 501c3, but we thought it was best that we made it the whole township. So there was already a bylaws written, so now they're being tweaked so that they're all encompassing. So I've read them, I've come up with some changes. I'm sure everybody else is going to have some changes or questions, so that'll be at the next meeting. We'll start talking about that. But at our second meeting, we discussed, we have a mission statement. We talked about our website page. What else? We already spoken to the attorney, got an estimate of what it would cost for the legal startup fees, and we're still trying to figure out, I don't think we got an update on that, and how much can the township support or finance this project, get it going, because obviously there's zero money to start. And there's right off the bat, there's a $600 federal filing fee to be done. And so now the next thing is to come up with, besides finalizing the bylaws, we need to come up with board members. We need a minimum of 5, right, Doug? Up to 10, and it should be probably some people other than us. And then we can begin completing the application, and we need to come up with a logo. That's our next steps that are on my minutes.
And if you could just let everybody, what's the purpose of having a 501c3?
Is so that, for, well, a couple reasons. One, any kind of money that we could collect could be used in other functions than what the township will allow to spend the money on, number 1. Number 2, like the parking lot fees that we collect, that could go back into this fund, and then we can distribute it back to the high school as scholarships. And then the community center gets money here and there,
right,
and then they can use that for different ways that they see fit, as long as the committee agrees to it, of course. But
and then it would be good if there were cases of emergency, what have you.
it was outside of
on
the
health and wellness, right?
of EAGA, right?
It opens up the grant windows, doesn't it?
It absolutely opens up grant windows, especially with
Yes.
the National Council on Aging, because one of the first things they ask on some of the bigger grants is,
To me, that's one of the biggest
yeah,
advantages.
she's right.
That's not really, it was just a question.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. We're all just chiming in.
You
That's
know,
all.
they know where your text is already, why do you need a
Right.
501c3?
Yeah.
But getting equipment for the lending.
The lending closet was another thing. Yes.
Yeah, it could be things for the kids, anything, yeah.
Why would you have to have a different logo? You could use our logo.
It's not,
It's not part of the township.
It's a separate entity now. Separate banking, separate board.
and you want to make that a very distinct.
Yeah, separation.
Yeah.
So we were calling it Serving Ela Township Together. So, okay.
Could you read the mission?
Oh, sure. Okay. Serving Ela Township Together shall work to support a comprehensive network of programs and services that benefit the entire Ela Township community. To this end, Serving Ela Township Together shall serve as an organization whose purpose is to broaden the economic foundation of the township's initiatives and interests by raising funds and donations from diverse sources, including, but not limited to, organizations, foundations, businesses, and private sources. Okay?
And Charlie working.
That's how everybody's been helping out, so it's not all just one person.
The last thing we discussed was Big Brothers Big Sisters. At that time, we had 17 bigs and 9 littles.
Okay.
So John mentioned 15 that have gone through, so we've got 2 more that have to go through the vetting process.
Do they pay for all that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Only because they're asking for grant money, I didn't know
No, they do.
what costs we incur other than
Being there, we provide the facility, and I rounded up the troops, and I will say people have really seen this as something really positive to doing it, so they're really excited about doing it.
That's great.
Yeah, and we know it's a slow grow. There's nothing that really comes out of the county that trickles down our way, so this is really awesome to see that we're able to do this in this area.
So Susan, to clarify.
Yeah.
This government is gone.
Yes.
But she says she provides all the supplies, including the staff. I thought I heard you say we were doing that.
No, we don't provide the snacks. We
Okay.
provide, we use the toys that are there from the youth department, in the facility, but with our volunteers, but we don't provide.
Okay.
I did ask that question.
Or the facilitator, they have a facilitator, a trained facilitator to each meeting, and they're the ones that also then are providing the vetting of each volunteer as well. So, and with the families.
So we're just providing a space, more or less.
And an employee to be there
Yeah.
Oh,
to open up and lock up.
okay.
So, just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was concerned about, whether we were doing, having to provide supplies or a snack or whatever, if that should be our contribution instead of this grant application that they were asking for $3,000. That was one of the reasons why we were communicating on that. So, and that's why I asked her. That's me
And it's you that has to be there?
Well, it's me that's there. I mean, we'll be able to rotate more in when we get a steady schedule. So right now, it's been inconsistent because we haven't had the littles, as you mentioned. And so once we get into a routine of things, it won't just be me. We'll do a rotation. Mitzi will be there for sure on some Thursdays, obviously, because it's board night at night. So there'll be days that I'm definitely not there. But quite honestly, I think it's an amazing program that I kind of like. And my husband's a big, so.
Your husband's big?
Is there anything else I missed on?
No, other than that, we're just kind of moving along, and the newsletter is at the printer, so April, May, June will be out there shortly. Thank you.
Campus full with a 30-person wait list.
Yeah, campus full.
So that's amazing.
It is.
So that's pretty good.
And
Okay.
it's nice outside, the kids can be outside.
Not today, but.
Not today.
Okay, any questions for the Community Center Committee? Okay, we'll move on to the Communication Committee. We met last week, and we were just getting ready for just making sure everyone knows that the newsletter is going to have to be printed pretty soon after, probably in April. Then we started talking about planning, doing something for Robin. She's retiring at the end of April, right, April? And so we're planning something for her. It'll be low-key, what she'd like. So we're talking about a lunch. We'll invite the board, and it'll just be in the building. It'll be included. So we're working on that right now. And nobody take please offense to that. It's just what she'd prefer. And she
came up to me with notice.
yeah. And
A card is fine.
her son's coming as well.
And she's been talking to Lisa, so we know where to go.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay, good. Did I miss any of that presentation? 30 years. Yeah, like 17 years?
Yep.
Something like that, yeah. And, okay, so that's all I have for Communication Committee. Health and Wellness.
Health and wellness, everybody knows Sarah had a baby.
Yeah.
No, other than that, I'm on call with
On
Betsy
call?
if we need anything, urgency, we need to have a meeting, but to date she's contacted me, but the door is open, and I'll give Betsy the opportunity to bring us up to date, whatever else is going on.
Yeah, so we're maintaining, the referrals are going strong, and then we're relying on our community partners as needed as well. Ebony's making progress with emergency assistance. She's been meeting with people individually and gathering the paperwork. And then after that, then we've been working together on the next part because there's just so much that goes into it and with people qualified and what else we may need to make sure that we have all of the information. And she's also helped quite a few people with case management as well in regards to housing and domestic. We've had a lot of calls in regards to domestic violence as well, so we've been using a safe place, which I realize they're also, they asked for a grant as well. And we can talk about that later, but we've been in contact with them quite a few times in regards to domestic violence cases, and also helping with rental and utility assistance, especially when they are getting disability, they don't qualify for emergency assistance, so then we're using, contacting churches and things to help out in those situations. So.
And the demographics on the domestic is pretty much one village, or is it spread out through the villages and the township?
they've been spread out.
And these referrals come through the police department?
Yep, those ones come through the police department.
Okay, any questions? Okay. All right, Parks and Recreation. Trustee, any report?
My voice is kind of like,
Okay.
so Laura, I think you know if you can speak, and then Mike,
We just had the windscreens that were approved, the order was placed. We should have those in plenty of time before the courts open up. And we did remove the Knox Park sign and found out that it's pretty rotted and it is in need of replacement. We're not going to be able to repair that. And then the only other thing was the parking lot repaving that's down further down the road.
Yeah, I don't think we really have anything major than that. We didn't do a walkthrough. It's been snowing and winter, so we haven't done that yet. I'm just looking.
The truck and trailer, we talked about that.
That's, no, that's a different.
I thought that was a truck.
Trailer
No, the
is-
trailer was, but not the truck.
Trailer is-
We already had the truck. We already had the truck. Yeah, I think that's about it. We went over, Ted and I went over the budget. Both of our landscapers, our company does our cleanups and once a month, and the guy does the fertilizer. They have very minor increases, so we're going to continue to renew those contracts. And actually, the fertilizer went down now because we don't do Carnegie anymore right now because of the water issues with Echo Lake. So it went down. So, but overall, it was still pretty level. So it was a good job.
and I don't know if this is miscellaneous. Can you bring up about the church that's for sale? The parking
I don't know
lot?
anything about it. You're the one who brought it up.
Oh, yeah, so the location.
St. Peter's
St.
United
Peter's,
Church.
It's for $3.5 million, and they're selling their church and parking lot. So I just informed Gloria. Again, we just high level, like, okay, what can we use this for? Again, nobody's thinking, we're just high level. And like for parking, currently they use it for the high schoolers now. So just,
3.5 million?
Yeah, the church is disbanding.
yeah, yes.
Oh my God, I go on there and I don't even know.
Oh, Jesus.
I just gave $1,200.
Check mark.
Yeah, just gave $1,200. I would have kept it.
Well, you'll be blessed.
Yes, we're back.
Yeah.
Gila Township, Laurel
They
Creek.
moved.
No, they did. They
Where are they?
I forget. Jim.
No, I thought they were disbanding because I
Jim
heard.
goes there too. But it's not only the church, they also have a big school.
Right, and the parking, that's why I thought about it. Also.
And the house goes with it. too.
Right.
Okay.
I know.
That's good.
Okay, so, yeah, I don't know what,
Just FYI.
at this point, yeah, what we could use it for. Everybody has a great idea. Bring it forward. Okay, thank you. Anybody have questions for the park? Okay, Highway Committee. Bowman, I know you missed yesterday's meeting.
Yeah,
It was
sorry.
a really good meeting, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, I know you're not well, so it is what it is.
Well, I wouldn't phrase it that.
I know, that's why you guys stay over there.
You gotta wash your hands. Wash your hands.
Okay, so,
Can
I'll
you
let-
rephrase that?
what?
You're not well.
Well,
Okay. Do I have to?
I expect it from some people here, but not everybody.
Not a word from me.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, I'm turning it over to you.
Would you like to talk about what we talked about?
All right, I'll bring it up. Okay, yesterday, we had a highway committee meeting.
Mike said he was going to.
Oh,
Yeah, it don't matter.
okay.
So yesterday we had our highway committee meeting. A couple of topics we touched on was our road resurfacing for this year. And in the past, the engineer's opinion of probable cost has come in at our budgetary level. We budget $500,000 every year. After it goes out for bids and work is done, we're usually around $360,000, $370,000 for the price. So it seems like their opinion has always been high. So this year, Jeff and I sat down and we decided we're paving in Forest Lake again. We decided to add a few extra roads. And when the engineer put together their opinion of probable cost this year, we're at $540,662 plus engineering fees. so that'd probably get it to about $570. Now, when this goes out to bid, we have verbiage in the contract that states that we are able to remove any of the portions or any reductions that we want to without losing the contracted prices in the original bid.
Downside scope.
So we're thinking about just trying to shoot for the moon, see what the bids come in. We just want to get the most bang for our budgetary buck.
And the green is what is budgeted, and the blue is what they're going to ask for a bid to. Mike has this in case anyone's asking for more. If it comes in, if we could do more with the budget.
So to add on to that, like you said, every time we've allowed $500,000 in the budget, it's coming lower, and that's because we do our bidding along with Long Row and in other communities, so we've always gotten like
Add-ons.
it's a bigger project for them to come in and do all at once, so they give us a better deal. So that's why the bids have been lower than what we've estimated the cost to be. And now with this Park Valley project, one of those roads or two of those roads might have to be adjusted, but we're still working on that, just so everybody knows. So that road plan might change a little bit.
It's good planning.
So,
When are you going out to bid?
before the
Roads, it depends. It's probably going to be later in the season because Kildare and Long Grove use MFT money, so it takes time for them to get that. Probably be summertime, and then paving in the fall again.
right. So I think we should talk about the highway guys, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so when we were at the meeting yesterday, the whole highway staff came to our meeting, and they had some questions, some requests, and so there's like 5 things on their list that they wanted to talk about. One being about holiday pay, local municipalities. If it's a holiday pay, they get double time plus their holiday pay. Right now, we only give them holiday pay and time and a half. So this is one of their requests. Second request had to do with comp time. That there might be the guys might want to get paid for comp time working overtime during the winter or even in the summer versus getting time for time and a half. But we would have to limit that because we can't have them build up another 80 hours comp time because that's another 2 weeks that they'd be off. So that's something that we have to work on. They're also talking about how currently, after you're here, 10 years or 12 years? 12 years, you get 4 weeks paid vacation, and there's no goal after that. So they were thinking that maybe if they're here 13 years, they get an extra day, or 14 years, they get an extra day built into their program. Something to look forward to keep them here after that. Another thing that they wanted to talk about was clothing allowance. Currently, the highway department purchases T-shirts, 5 T-shirts per guy every year, right? And they purchase either 1 year they buy a sweatshirt, and the following year they buy a coat. Plus, right now, they get $350,000 clothing allowance. What did I say? You said $350,000. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm going to work for you.
Those Prada work.
That's a lot of expensive. Louis Vuitton.
That's $350, not $350.
I'm sorry, $350. Thank you for. Sorry, $350 clothing expense. Well, the boots. Some of the boots they have to replace almost every 6 months. We're being told, and they're upwards of $200 on up every year. So they would like to see their clothing go from $350 to $600.
And also
And-
the reflector.
And pardon?
The reflecting.
Yeah, well, they are reflecting.
I know, I was just going to say part of that too is that.
Oh, the reflections on the sweatshirts, once they're worn and washed, they become useless.
But you have these allowances, as an allowance, they have to come in with what they spent.
Receipts.
They don't get it.
Nope.
not-
Yeah, no, they have to show
No,
receipt.
yeah. Every year, and they give me receipts showing what they were buying.
Okay.
It's just work clothes. They can't buy Harley T-shirts or underwear or anything like that. It's work related.
Right. Because there are some, I guess, like Lake Zurich, they said it actually provides them uniforms. So, and that's over and above their allowance. So they thought, since that's a trade-off, if they don't have uniforms, that's what they would like. So we're going to continue to, well, we have to figure out what we're going to do with that as a board, how we want to.
Well, I think
Allow-
all of
there's
this
one-
should be rolled into, a part of it, into our study that we're doing on all employees' benefits. And it's just, thank you for all your input, and then we'll put it into committees and take a look at it. I mean, we are doing a big study on benefits and salaries and stuff, and I just think this should be added to it.
They also went the extra mile
Yeah.
and did look up.
No, that's okay. One more thing was maintenance. Right now, all the guys are considered maintenance workers. And there was discussion several years ago that we would create 2 tiers, a maintenance worker 1, which means you're a beginner, and I shouldn't phrase it as beginner, but you have certain newly hired something, and then you could work towards a maintenance worker 2, which bring you to another level. They say that some communities, and I don't know who that is off the top of my head, but they have maintenance worker 1 and they have several steps. You know, like you're newly hired and then you work your way, like learning how to use a backhoe or how to do the wing mower or what all these other items are, and you work your way down with classes and education, right? And then eventually you get to a certain level, and then you become a maintenance worker 2, and then that's how you can judge some of your raises, so to speak. So that they're giving us some samples on that, or they already did. Is that what you copied yesterday?
Contracts from other.
Yeah, they had contracts. It talks about raises every, raises will be every year.
municipality or township?
Probably municipalities.
What they presented yesterday was municipality.
Yeah.
But they did do research. It wasn't just, grabbing on the air.
Correct.
What was positive,
Correct.
too, is that they want to start their career in the township, which is a positive, too, for
Correct.
turnover. So
Right. They want to stick together.
it was great.
They each have their own little niche of what they're good at, so to speak, and so they want to keep that group together. And everybody's getting along, which is nice to be cohesive and that. So these are all things that we need to take into consideration, and of course the allowances. I think we already built into the new budget today the allowance to go to 600.
Yeah, I don't know if you got that number in, but yeah.
Oh,
so
okay, well.
It's a minimal difference if it isn't.
Okay. All right, so that's Highway Committee.
Was
And
there a
then-
timing, like when employees come to you with something, was there a timing when you said that you're going to get back to them, or you just left it open?
Yeah, it was left open because right now they're actually going back and they're kind of more formalizing their asks and providing us more information and comparisons so that we have
Round one.
Yes.
Well, yeah, and I kind of asked them, I said, the whole laundry list of items. I said, if you had to pick 2 things, like if you could get 2 this year, what would that, what's in the criteria, what's more important to you? And so we'll see what they come back with. I think they were all there, and so they all had a chance to speak, and I'm glad they came. It was nice to hear from them. But we did talk about, I'm sorry, is there a question? Did I see anything?
No, I can't.
Oh, don't do that. Okay. Then there was something about a truck, right? Or another truck?
The service
Yeah.
body truck.
Yeah, thank you, service
We
body.
got a quote for the back end of the truck, the build of the truck, it was around $54,000.
Right.
And then we're still looking to get a price for the chassis. We're kind of, Brett wants to go with a Chevy, Jeff wants to go with a Ford, so they're kind of
Oh, boy.
going at it, so they haven't really decided what
Series
we're
Ford
yet,
would it
so.
be? What Series Ford would it be?
450. Yeah.
It would
We
be,
probably-
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Gas? Or gas or diesel is what it is. It would be diesel.
Yes.
Gas.
Do we have any old trucks left?
Yes. As a matter of fact, we do.
2000, these are replacing 2002 to 2003 trucks.
Yeah.
But I have a whole list of what is being replaced and why they're being replaced, in case there was any questions of why we're spending the money. So there's a comprehensive list.
I'm sure you're quite aware of it, that a lot of municipalities, police departments and fire departments are moving away from 450 and 550s because of electronic problems.
I'm not a big fan of Ford.
I'm just,
I'm a big fan of Chevy. Jeff likes the Ford because it's got a heavy weight.
It's got heavier what?
heavier duty front end.
Oh.
Like Zurich's got 2 new ones that are that are ambulances, and they broke it in one of the first 2 weeks.
We have a lot to talk about today. so.
Could we touch base, because Lori wasn't there yesterday when we got the call from Darren about a grant?
Well, I figured we'd do that when we get to the budget.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm on page here. Okay, so next is bus service. I have nothing new to report there. As far as you know, everything's going well with our riders there outside of the school. They're using Lake County Ride. So, Professor Penny.
A few of the 2024 Board of Review staff, Lucas Jason, Lake County Township Assessors meeting on February 20th. He broke down the percentage of changes that were made at the Board of Review. Gila Township had the lowest percentage of changes for 2024 Board of Review cases. And the range was 21.7 to 68%
Oh my God.
the appeals were changed, and that was in Newport, but Newport is small,
Abandoned.
farm, so 97 appeals total, but Antioch was the second to highest at 61% of changes in
I was one of
the
those.
appeals. 0.8% of total value in the county was lost due to the reductions at Board of Review, and that's total value. And the county does not expect a county factor from the DOR, which would be good. At least we won't see an increase in value from them. 40% of the 10,000 filed appeals had a reduction this year if you wanted to do a full county percentage, which is a high rate, in my opinion. The township itself lost 0.5% of our total value at Board of Review level. But looking at how much the commercial industrial will reassess and upward.
That's where it comes
1%,
from.
that
Sure.
0.5 was a good number. The 2025 township tentative factor from the Lake County CPAO is a 1.0776 so far. So we're looking at 7.7% increase across the board, unless we change things at our level in the assessor's office, which we are planning to, like we did last year, to bring that 9 to a 2.7. We're going to do the same thing with the 7, bring it down to a more manageable township factor for the whole township. So that's what we're doing now, is entering new construction, new buildings, trying to work with the values before we start looking at the analysis of all the things.
Congratulations.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Any other questions for Penny?
Good job.
Thank you. Historic Society, bringing up to speed on that real quick. As you know, they would like to get new flooring in the main floor of that building. In order to do that, it's not level. That I know it's not level. And structurally, I had an engineer go out there and look at it, and he was going to write up something for us. But in the meantime, he's also having the wood tested to verify strength of all, because it has such
Structural and tin.
of the wood, because there's so much on that floor and it's so heavy. So that's going to be a combination of 2 more expenses on that before we can move forward to figuring out where we're going to store everything while it needs to be leveled and then the new carpeting going in. So we're still waiting for the expense or the testing results on the wood. There's no sign of termites or anything like that. And the wood is old, so it's not, when you say a 1x8, it's a 1x8, not like it is these days. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I might be wrong with the number, but you know what I'm saying. If it's a 2x10, it's a 2x10. So anyway, we're working on that. We're getting pricing, and I'll keep you informed on that. And then the cemetery, well, as you know, we have approved the purchase of the markers, which are not really behind me anymore. So that's moving forward. We'll have another meeting in 2 weeks. That's all I have. So now we'll go to the meat of the meeting here. Topics for consideration, discussion on social agency grant application. Betsy, did you ever, yeah, Betsy, did you have a chance to look at all these by any chance? Okay, so some of these are, we've had them every year, right? And you can tell by the spreadsheet that's on the front page, it lists the agency that's requesting money and then what we've done the last couple of years. That's 2 years, and then what they're asking for, 3 years, rather, and what they're asking for this year. So do we want to go one by one, or are we comfortable with, after reviewing all this, sort of just discussing the numbers as we move down the line? Yes?
I just had a question about Mikasa.
Sure.
Going through they seem to be doing a lot of the work that our health and wellness department does. If you go to, they're in tab number 8 of the book.
Okay.
They have number 12, 703 requests for mental health and addiction services, and it just seems really high versus, the amount of calls that we get. I was just inquiring about that. Like,
It could be drug and alcohol or not.
But they're all
But I don't know.
yeah, that's what it says. They're all
No, this is 22
22 of the
of 703 requests. 22.
13 seems to be some mental health services.
Yeah, I don't know that.
No,
But
I
it could
just
be-
wanted to see because it just seems
That would be something that, we would refer out depending on the situation for drug and alcohol use.
because it says mental health services, 5 seeking crisis intervention, suicide prevention. I just was surprised those numbers were so high when we offer those services as well.
But we're down to, let's just figure out what we have right now. Now, this is brand new statistic, or all last year, I don't know. I'm assuming it's all, actually, that does say from 24, for 24, so that was last year. Sarah was here the whole year. Sorry, I was trying to catch up with you.
I just wanted to it just seems the numbers
Like a high number?
high. Yeah.
And I don't know if Sarah refers that to them. I don't know if the police department does. I don't know where
Yeah.
that's where it came from.
It
I
just
don't
stuck
know
out
the
to
answer
me
for you.
with all those things.
Well, I think what Sarah would say normally, I think, is that some cases might require way more time than.
Right. They might need to be seen more than once a
Sure.
week. It might be out of our scope of service, especially with drug and alcohol. So it could be that, but I just don't.
Absolutely. I just wanted to see, it just seemed high. That's all.
Because I wrote drug and alcohol on my notes too. Because
Okay.
I'm thinking that it was more that than anything, but I don't know.
Thank you.
So while you bring them up, their office of
They're-
the Attorney General is way behind. Did you see the date on this thing?
On
June
the
30th.
chairman standing?
June
Oh,
30th,
23?
2022.
Oh.
Now, was
Wait,
the
which one is
old
it?
one in here?
No, you're talking about this one says 23. It's dated
It's
23.
dated that, but they haven't
Oh,
filed since June
22.
30th, 2022.
Got it. Yeah.
Out of all the grants that I went through, there's just seems
Theirs seems shaky?
yeah.
Now, Nikakasa, is that the one that just started the new the facility up?
No.
That's,
They were just here, and she was just here, but now I can't think of the name
of what?
of who you're talking about that just opened up that.
That was Bruce Johnson. So that's his. This is his, I think, isn't it? Wait, hang on a minute. He signed it. Yeah, Bruce Johnson. He's the one who started that new thing that's right here. It's in here.
The 5 top executives.
Decorated. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Deck rates did not apply in time this year. They asked me for after the fact, as they could submit anyway, and I said no. I have to say no, if it's after the date. This is the one that's got the new building. Here it is. They have the first of its kind Veterans and First Responders Wellness Center in Lake County. That's Bruce Johnson.
Yeah.
Because I went to the American Legion for his presentation on that.
Did Zachariah say why they were late, or
They just missed the deadline. And if I said no to one, I have to say no
Right.
to everybody. I was wondering, Wings is new this year.
Yeah, Wings is new. I wanted to talk
And
about
they have to do with domestic violence as well as the safe place. So do you recommend people to Wings, even though they said they serviced 6 of our residents last year?
Well, they're more Cook, in Palatine, Cook County.
Right.
So we've been using a safe place because
Right.
of the Lake County. Yeah.
Okay,
I
so-
wouldn't say we've been referring to Wings
At all.
So safe place, that's what I looked
Yeah,
at.
a safe place would be, that's more,
They
that's
said
what
they
we,
serve 6 residents though.
Could they have gone on their own?
a safe
Yeah.
place or who?
We
Wings.
Oh, wings, they could have, I mean.
Yeah, and I'm just, because I was surprised to see them there too, because.
I mean, and they asked for
they
$5,000.
usually work.
Yeah.
But Ely Township does become a part of the county too. Isn't it the Barrington, or?
No, we're
Oh,
on Lake
Riley,
County.
Lake County, yeah.
We're only north of Lake County.
Right.
They do
Like
serve,
Cookwood, sorry.
but they do serve residents.
Well, I guess they would serve, they're not going to deny anybody, I'm guessing.
Right.
Right.
So if I lived in the south.
I mean, they're a great organization, I'm not saying they're not.
No, I know,
but
But when you have
it needs it,
limited funds, you gotta
Right,
take care of
right.
it.
Okay, and then, go on.
No, I was gonna say, like last time Sarah would tell us, Betsy's gonna tell us like which one she prefers.
Well, if Betsy can fill us in on what.
I didn't know if you guys were going down, so, are you guys gonna go down?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we can.
And I guess I just had another comment about Joni's Closet.
Okay.
I know Joni's Closet is our school district, and we've given them.
It's our what?
They support our school
District
district.
95, yeah.
District 95. They support our students in our school district. Okay? And that's it. So it's all ELA. For the most part, I would say probably all ELA Township, right? I think I'm a little concerned now that they're expanding their foundation to be this angel thing where they're helping with housing. It's kind of gone to the next level. So they're asking a lot more money on that.
And I have a story that they used. There was somebody that I was helping before Ebony started that was at PADS and wasn't getting the budgeting that she needed to get out of there, out of the PADS hotel. And her daughter went to Lake Zurich Middle School or high school, I can't remember. And then I referred her to Lake County Housing Authority, and Lake County Housing Authority and the school district, Joni's Closet, helped her get a security deposit, and it was more from the school district that helped her get her security deposit so that she could get secure housing.
Okay.
So
But Joni's
Just to go
Closet,
over that.
Doug, you tell me, am I reading their budget sheet or their balance sheet properly? They have
What tab are they in?
That's 6. Do they have $72,000 in reserve?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. That's a lot of money, I think, but.
What percentage are they?
What percentage are we of them?
75.
14% of their budget.
That's Johnny Park.
Yeah. And their IRS 501c3, yep, is not included in here either.
Right.
Although
They allude to it in their,
They do allude to it in their description,
so
and
they didn't give you the document.
they didn't give us the document. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So, they did apply for it last year. I guess I could go upstairs and look to see if it was in last year's application, if you want me to. I'll leave that up to you guys. Okay, so that's why I'm just saying. If it's, and I think they were missing that document, but everybody else had it.
Correct.
Right, Doug? I think we talked about that.
Yeah, they didn't have it.
They were on one, in my notes anyway, unless I fell asleep, which is possible. Okay, so how do you want to move forward? Go down the line and give us a little
Yeah,
yes?
go down
Okay.
the line.
So a safe place. I think we should give them the same amount they asked for, they got last year and they asked for this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we got Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
I'd say let's hold on that one.
I
and
do.
the other.
Yeah.
Okay, put that on hold and come back.
Right.
Okay. Center for Enriched Living. They are, let me just confirm who they are. 1, 2, 3, right? They're the ones in Riverwood.
development.
Yeah.
If you look at the proposal on page 3 of 4, how would you use township funds?
Yeah.
Number 7, funds will support CL programming attended by Moraine.
Maureen, I know, I
Township.
circled that too. I'm sure it was a
Why
typo.
do I want to fund that?
I'm sure it's a typo. They didn't change that one to ELA.
But we don't.
Oh.
This is what I'm
don't
going to say.
know?
Yeah, but we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to the application, right?
Well, my thought process was, we now have that new educational building in our own school district that is supporting these youth. So I did reach out to actually the lady who's in charge of that organization. I can't think of her name now, but I did email her to ask her, did she see a change where people left Riverwoods and came back to our facility, or if she saw people leave our facility to go there. I was just I was trying to get a feel from her, and she says that they I've not seen that happen. But, again, this is brand new, so they're hoping more will funnel into here versus going to Riverwoods. I think Riverwoods is seeing like 6, or they're saying 17 people. She was surprised by that number. Yes?
And I would add to that too, and we
Yes.
since started the program, so we support 5 of those students. They come every day during the week and come and work with us.
So they're getting hands-on work-related things.
So I've seen their applications through CNBC as well, and there's errors like this on theirs as well. I think it's a great organization.
Yeah, I'm not
I think
knocking
they
it.
serve it. I would propose that, you know, if there's money left, we give them 1,000 in there.
Like we did last year.
Yeah.
That's what I had penciled in as well.
So, I mean, it's just an idea, but, you know, let's hit the ones that we really know that we want to support.
Okay, so next was Center for Independence. They did not apply this year because they closed their facility at the church. The Villa Road. Emmaus House of Hospitality, I would like to keep that in there. They do, that's strictly Eula Township residents, and they're all volunteer. Okay, good. Next is the Erie Family Health Center. In the past, we've only been giving them $1,000 to use towards health care for our residents, and dental too, but and I think we can, they're asking for 1,000, I think we can
I think we should give them.
do that.
We used them more when they were in Mundelein before they moved to Mundelein. People could get there.
Did you
Good
guys,
insurance.
just on here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Their financial statement.
Yes, I know, they have a lot of...
$2,100,000 profit. Not
Wait, how much?
profit. $2,081,000, at least budgeted for this, from June 24 to 25. And look at,
Yep.
I mean, that's
I know, here I'm talking about
It's like,
Johnny's
you're doing well.
Johnny's Closet and
Yeah.
And the doctors are volunteer.
No, I don't think so.
No, they got
They're not. They have
compensation.
compensation, their money's in
No.
here. Well,
But they got a lot of big corporate.
yeah, donations.
Yeah.
I know, what's our little $1,000?
Yeah.
Go somewhere in there. I don't know.
So question mark.
And who's John and Anthony Schreiber?
I don't know, but they've got a lot of money.
Yeah. So, I mean, $1,000.
We gotta get them on our board.
You can put it to somewhere else where it makes more impact.
Put a question mark, man.
Okay.
I think they should look at the percentage too.
Right.
Johnny's Closet went from 3,000 requests last year, we gave them 2,000. This year they're asking for 5 because of their new angel fund. So I don't know how anybody feels about that, but it is. I was thinking we should just give them the 2 like we did last year, is what I penciled
Yeah, I
in.
mean, Jody's Closet serves our district and
Yep.
everything. I think it's a great organization. I don't know about the 5 though. What did we give them last year? 2,000?
They asked for 3, we gave them 2.
I think the 2,500 cut in half, but I want to see what other ones we want.
Okay. LGBSA Challenger Division.
Well,
Which
we
one?
get the 501c. What are we doing with these non-documentation requirements?
I think the only one that was missing the 501c3 was
Right.
the Nakasa.
Are we going to go back to them and say, please provide that?
Yeah, we
Do
should.
we want to?
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna give them
They
that.
missed the deadline.
Oh,
Once they miss
So-
the deadline, you can't go back.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Because we did the same thing with Zacharias.
so then it's not in the,
So it's
We're
not
not
fair
fair.
to the other ones.
if we're fair, right?
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
But we're on
So
challenge.
therefore, you would give them nothing?
Yeah, if they say it's incomplete,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
I know we said no to Zacharias, and they were.
I didn't ask them.
You know,
I didn't ask them. I took the stuff they gave us, we put a book together.
I don't know, so did we skip the Challenger?
I just opened that up and we went, and then somebody skipped to Nakasa.
I mean, Bruce Johnson used to come to the meetings. Everybody that was asking for money used to come to the meetings.
LGBSA Challenger Program. That's a division of the baseball, yeah. And I
Did
used
you give them for last year?
Last year they forgot to apply, so they didn't get anything.
Oh.
And the year before that, they asked for 3,500 and we gave them 2,500. And I think that would be very generous of us if we gave them 2,500. But I'll let everybody else decide and talk about it because I started that program, so I have a,
Right, you always recuse yourself.
Now, they don't have their state.
they don't have, but I do have it.
You do have it?
I have it.
Oh.
I have it. It just didn't get in the book, but I
So
have
they
it.
didn't put it in the book?
No, it didn't get in the book, but I have it. They emailed it to me. It's my fault.
You're confused
confused with what's in the book and not. She's asking a different question.
Okay, I'm sorry, what did you ask me? It's not in the book.
Did
Did they meet the deadline?
So they
We got reset.
That particular piece of paper came in late, but they did include the 501c3.
But it came in late, it's an incomplete application
Yep.
on time.
Yep.
I'm just
I
saying,
agree.
you know, if we're gonna be,
That's right.
We have to be fair.
Well, then we have to eliminate the other one.
let's just.
No, but then we have to eliminate the other
Let's
one.
just keep talking.
Which I think we did.
No, there's another one then, because it's too old. It doesn't show their good standing. You know what they did? They used, it's in here, as you can tell from the people who, they didn't use the new form. They used the old form and they just filled it in the same way. Because this one says proof of nonprofit status in the application.
Is it challenges?
No, this is somebody else. I can't think of which group it was.
It's an easy application.
They only used the one that says recognizing not-for-profit certificate of good standing. They didn't use the 501c3. That was in the new application. They used an old application that's reformatted with new numbers. That's the problem. But I didn't, point it out to them that it was changed anyway.
It's not your role.
I just gave them that it was available.
It's their role to
That's right.
complete an application.
Okay.
And we sent them the new application.
It was for them to get online.
Okay.
I did not mail it or email them, but it was online. So that's.
I mean, these are the standard formats, and again, this is just my opinion, that we shouldn't be deviating from the guidelines that are set up, either the forms or the timelines for this stuff needs to be put in. It just,
Right.
the
more
Right, we're all agreeing with
gotta
that.
make it
Okay,
fair.
we're all
for
agreeing.
everyone.
Right,
It's
right. I
just-
think we all agree.
I hate that some of these people miss because they truly
But then
could
there'd
use.
be more.
But it's,
I mean, it's $3,000. It's not gonna make or break their budget.
well, and some like the handicap baseball thing, it was made a big difference in the program.
Absolutely. Okay. So
But he's also a volunteer versus some of these people have grant managers who handle all this stuff. That's all I'm going to say.
And also, I mean, you guys could open up another grant table.
Oh.
I mean, if you guys set a budget amount of 34,000,
Yeah.
You're right.
and you only approve 15 today because everybody else missed it, or missed the deadline, missed the paperwork, we could go through this process again and complete it. You know, 'cause all we're doing is budgeting a line item.
And 34,000.
Well, I mean, I understand, but I'm just
No,
saying,
but I think that's a good
if
point.
we have enough people who are being disqualified for whatever the reason, there's nothing that says you can only allocate today.
Correct.
We're just trying to figure out.
The budget hasn't
I
been
don't think
finalized
we
yet.
need to go to more of it. I mean,
And
it's
then-
an annual thing, it's been like that for a long time. And
But I
just-
like your idea. Thank you, Ted. That was thinking outside of, as well. Should we continue?
Yes, one more second, Bill. We did approve $34,000 last year, right? You see that. It doesn't
Right.
mean doesn't mean we can't change that number. If we want to change it, we can. There's still money to put in the budget for it. I'm just letting you know that. Okay, so we'll move on.
So LC Challenger, we're moving on because they were incomplete. Okay.
Which is 34 for?
Last year was 34,000.
For what?
For all these.
For all of
grants.
them.
Oh, right.
All of them.
Okay.
That's,
So I don't want to say anything, but we skipped 400,000, so enjoy your grant share.
okay. So next would be North Suburban Legal Aid Clinic.
Oh, my God. Every year we talk about this.
I know, we do.
Every year.
So,
Go ahead.
we had an employee who was referred to that.
And we also have a referral form now that we use when we need to make referrals to them. We can actually email them, and whoever we're talking with can sign off, and then they give them a call, and that has been successful. That us giving the referral, they seem to be more receptive to taking on those clients.
So you
Are they
recommend
just,
this one? Are we
are
good?
they just receiving and doing the calls, or are they actually
And
taking them on?
It's better than
taking them
legal.
on. Yeah. Yeah.
So they had 6 clients last year.
And I also know a safe place uses them a lot too.
Okay.
Just
They asked for
just to
2,000.
put those out to people.
They asked for 3,000. We gave them 2 last year.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
So do we want to give them 3, 2?
Yeah,
Let's
two.
pencil in 2,
2.
right? What do you think?
I'm thinking 3. I mean, we had a problem with them, that this was before they came in, they talked to us. And if we have a system that's working for them, legal representation. I pencil in 3, but I mean, it's up to if you guys want to do 2. I think it's important. They're following through right now. They're doing referrals. They're working with these people.
Do they charge?
I'm lying.
No.
I'm lying. Now that you said Prairie State, we have the referral. We do Prairie State and a Safe Place work together, and that's who we have our referral form for. It's not North Suburban Legal Aid. I apologize. That's completely my fault. I got confused. So I just looked at my referrals, and it is, when you said Prairie State, it made me think of that.
I said Prairie State.
Sorry.
And they do not charge, so they're just
So, yes,
doing
it
everything
is
for
Prairie
us.
State, that's a safe
Let's
place.
pencil in
Yeah,
2.
2,000.
Okay, where do they need the money from?
Sorry.
They don't charge.
Yeah, thanks, okay.
Well, they have
There's court fees, probably, or whatever. Who knows? Yeah, there's lawyers there.
I'm moving
on pads. Pads. You, obviously, you refer to pads.
Yes.
Right. So last year, they asked for 5, we gave them more because we wanted, just because we decided to give them more.
And this is all our district. Lake County.
Yes, it's on Lake County. Passes.
I'd say 5.
Yes.
5,
Homelessness and housing is still a huge issue.
huge issue, huge.
And so pencil in 5 for them,
I think you all should work it sometime.
and then we'll go to wings. Because Zacharias was taken out. Wings, how do we feel about wings? Would we use a safe place regularly and not wings?
I would say 1,000. I mean, they probably do work with some people, but I don't think 5,000, you know, when we're not getting...
A safe place. I wouldn't give them 5
We
if we're
have
giving
less than
wings.
$400,000, you know.
Right.
Giving them something, but not everything they're requesting.
Have you ever used wings?
Yeah, have you ever used?
We've never,
No, she said no. There's 6, they served 6 people supposedly last year.
I saw that.
But I would give a safe place more than wings.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That's why I'm just saying,
1,000?
between 1,000. Because they do, and they said they served 6 people last year. They do, you know.
Okay, so,
Yeah, what are the salaries?
I know, if we're at 2,500 for a safe place, right? 1,000 for center for enriched living, 15,000 for a man's house, 1,000 for Erie, 2,000 for Jonas Closet, 2,000 for North Suburban,
Go back to Tony's Closet.
5,000 for pads, and 1,000 for wings.
29,500.
Well, what pencil that
I don't, we're at 29,500 right now. Okay, go ahead, I'm
You
sorry.
had me confused. You said we're not giving them because they didn't put their 501c3 in.
That was Nakasa.
That's on John.
I
That's
skipped-
Tony's Closet.
Oh, you're right. Well,
So 28,500.
so then we can take the 2,000 out if you want.
Do the one, you gotta do it in the fall.
That's right.
will you say it again, who are the 3 where that didn't have it? It was,
Yeah.
Joni's Closet,
thank you. Okay.
Nakasa.
Okay.
They didn't have the 501c3. The Challenger program didn't have their good standing. I know they do because I looked it up. But they didn't send it in on time.
I got you.
And they used an old application.
No, they didn't. I think it was another, I noticed that it was on there a couple times, but I didn't make a note which one it was.
And today, we're talking about Big Brother.
So we were going to come back to Big Brothers Big Sisters.
They have everything in, nothing missing?
Yeah. They're run out of Chicago. They have a big budget too. They have a big budget. I don't remember off the top of my head, sorry.
Number of clients served 15 to 20 of ELA.
And I should add that John did tell me that the money, the funds can be targeted specifically for Ela Township.
So it's not going into a big general.
Correct.
Can be.
Well, actually, the only budget they included was Lake Zurich mentoring program. They didn't include any kind of budget for the whole organization.
Who did?
Big Brothers Big Sisters. They're only talking about their expenses here.
So when we give these grants and we put something on there, like 2 meetings, that this can only be used for Ela Township.
So it's kind of hard to, well, we can ask for that, but I don't know how we can How they
I think
prove
in the
it.
application,
I thought it was on the
it
application.
implies that,
Has to be in the
Right, but
township
just,
resident.
tracking.
yeah, just,
Oh, yeah, but like
the
they,
band house sends them self-reports on what they
and they
send
just
them.
put it in the bank. How do you know?
So,
You still, you know.
I know, but I mean, it's one thing that
But if they
we're
put
trying to.
it down, it's gotta be from either township. But legally, you can't get money out. It has to go to either township residents.
Well, it's good, well,
I don't,
they're saying that all of their costs related to our residents is much more than the money we give them. It's all listed in here like that. Almost every single one of them.
Great.
And how much did we collect from the parking lot?
That's a different, that's a
Oh,
different
that's right.
program. Yeah, I know, that's a different program. So Big
What was
Brother,
the third one that didn't submit a form, a proper form?
the Challenger, didn't include their good standing.
Jolene's, Challenger, and Tucker.
That's too bad.
That
I
is
know.
very too bad. So when we receive, again, I know it's not our job, but when we receive these forms, who looks at them to see if they're complete? Or we just don't, we just put them in a book?
I just put them in a book.
You?
Yes. Well, no, Jessica collects them all, and then she puts the book together.
Because I'm sure Jolene's Closet has her 501c.
I'm sure she does too.
And
I'm sure all these
the
people do.
Challenger, I'm
Yeah.
sure they,
Yeah, I have the Challenger here, it's just that it came in late.
that's all volunteers,
It is.
Challenger. The kids can't write. How can they send it?
Well, it's not that good, they haven't. Lucy, that's not the thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's up to the board if we want to make an exception or if we want to say, we're sticking to it, and it is what it is.
Okay, so we still have to make a decision on Big Brothers, Erie.
I'd rather give 1,000 to Big Brothers than Wings. Wings is Big Brothers Services and Ewa Township. I don't know, Wings, I'm not sure.
Well, they're servicing,
Unless I'm missing something from the application.
They said they served 60 residents last year.
But didn't you say that it's what, or not?
She doesn't use wings.
We utilize a safe place. We actually meet, and I don't know if I said this earlier or not, but we actually meet with the safe place quarterly. They give us like education regarding domestic violence. We talk about, the referral process, making sure people are getting the services they need, or if they bring on new services. Like last time, I didn't, unfortunately, get to go to the meeting, but they had I can't remember now what it was, but they have brought on a new service, and so they were educating us on what more services they were providing. So we meet with them quarterly.
And they
and the safe place also comes here, I believe, on charity night, and they get items from charity dinners.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
They come and they give them things for new babies and all kinds of stuff. So, because I've been here for their event. So, okay, so we still decide on Big Brother, Erie.
Erie, I thought we said 1,000.
I have them penciled in. Okay, then we got Jolene's Closet, because we don't have the 501c3. I was going to say, because we don't have the good standing letter. The Casa, because they don't have a 501c3. Those are the three, couple that were, five that were sitting here.
I would say 2,000 for Big Brothers Big Sisters. They're asking for 3.
Yes, they are.
I mean, it's the unknown.
It is.
So it's giving them something, it's giving them over half what they're doing, but it's not saying we're going to.
Again, they didn't give us full budget either.
Well, can I ask this
Yeah.
question? Did they have the application in and not the form? I mean, the 501s?
That's part of it.
Or were all, was it?
Yeah, go ahead. Are you, which group are we talking about?
Any of them. I mean, did they all have the application in but not?
Yeah, all of these had applications in on time.
So the applications are in, it was just a matter of updating the paperwork. I mean, to me, that's a little bit different.
The application includes the form, though, that's part of the application.
Requesting that part of it, yeah.
So we need to decide if for this time, we're going to say, or not.
Correct.
Let's stick to it. We can't, Some of these groups like Jolene's Closet, that service our community and our schools, I think that should be a priority.
regardless of not having a 501c3.
Well, if the board, if that's what we decide. And I still think 1,000 for Big Brothers, depending on if we get the challenge, if we change our focus.
I mean, were the forms back, after, when the application was put in, did there other forms come in dated after that?
Okay, the
In
request,
reference to when they were certified? Like in some points, Doug was bringing up, some of the paperwork is from 2023.
Yeah, 22.
I mean,
that's in good standing, but they were all received within the time frame of of them being on the website. And they were all received in time, because that was the date, and Jessica and I knew that. So if
Yeah.
anything came in late, we knew that was being put aside.
Yeah,
But the question, pardon me?
Look at the 2022.
Is that Erie?
Yeah, Erie.
Nakasa.
Oh, okay. Well, Nakasa, we kind of put aside anyway, because they don't have the 501c3.
Or the good standing.
So it can't be that one.
No, they had.
That was Erie.
They did. Nakasa, we got the 501c3, and their letter of the Attorney General is dated June 30th, 2020.
Oh, that's Nakasa's?
That's Nakasa.
Wait, what number is that? 8?
8, yeah.
Thank you, let me get there, sorry. We gotta hit the numbers on these next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have the 501c3, but you're right, the standing is old.
Standing is old.
Yeah, that's
So
what it
does
is,
that
I'm
mean?
sorry, yeah, I don't know what that
That's
means.
not good.
From the CASA, right?
Right, it's not good.
Sorry, that's, yeah.
Like the Yankees.
So just the good standing is missing.
What is that?
That means they're not filing their
Yeah, I
annual
know, but
reports.
I'm saying that's steady getting to.
It's being part of.
Mine was a gift of
It's the same color.
I thought you took hers.
I don't have them. Someone asked for it. Not really.
I didn't use that you're young. Good thing. Okay, so guys, how do we feel about?
Yeah, we should make a decision.
Because the applications are not complete, do we want to say no for now?
yes.
Is that, when you say no, we gotta go back and give them 24 hours to give
Refer?
the.
Well, then we'd have to say, Zacharias, let's see your application, because we said no to them, because they weren't in on time.
That's right.
Right,
And that I
right.
was alluding to having another round of grant applications. So you guys are at what, 27, 50?
You're 29.5, but I don't know if that's something I don't know that I didn't add.
So if we budgeted 34, that's still roughly $7,000 that we could allocate at a later date.
And again, we could change the 34 too. It's just what number do we put in the budget?
Exactly.
Are we happy with 34 at this point? I say yes.
I am.
I am.
It comes out of our budget.
It's the general fund.
General fund. Sorry. Yeah.
Do we want to postpone this and just ask the 3 to submit it and then meet again?
And Zacharias?
I mean, 4, thank you.
Well, I mean, we have to open up to everybody.
What's the
That's
difference
what I'm
between the
saying.
application?
So we might get 10 more.
I agree. I do agree with that too.
Yeah.
What?
The difference between an application being in on time and missing documents, right?
Right.
If the application was in on time,
That was my
do
point.
we extend them the courtesy to go back and say, hey, review this? Even in Joni's closet, they have in their commentary that they have the
They
501c3
do.
status. So was it, I'm assuming it's an omission if they just forgot to put it in.
Right.
So do we give them the courtesy to go back and say,
24 hours.
get it to us?
Yeah.
Actually, and that's Joni's Closet is the one that used the old form, because they're the one that doesn't have the 501c request in there. They only have the good standing.
All right, well,
I knew it was somebody, I just couldn't find it.
wanna give them another week?
I think they should have 24, 48 hours to get them.
Yeah, but they've been doing this for years. And if they need the money, they're gonna remember what they
Okay,
gotta do.
let's do it this way, okay? Let's assume that the three people that didn't,
Well,
Joni, Challenger, and Acosta,
Yeah.
do not submit all the proper documentation. So let's assume I get that in the next 48 hours.
Yeah, 48 hours.
Okay. Do you need some? Oh, that's his Yeti.
Okay.
His Yeti.
No, we got the water from
No Guys, don't do that, sticky fingers.
Okay, let's go. Let's assume that I get the documentation within 48 hours. Okay? So then if that's the case,
Then we'll give them those.
then we'll give them money.
Yes.
Okay, so let's,
Oh,
that's
what
what I
about-
right now, so we know where we're at.
Okay,
Okay.
so Jody's call.
Let's start over. A safe place is still at 2,500, correct?
Yes.
Now, Big Brothers Big Sisters, we were discussing about giving them some money.
Yeah.
It's a new
You wanna
program
give them
here.
something that's new.
We are giving them our facility,
Oh, okay, thanks for reminding.
just, it's something,
That's why I
right?
said 1,000.
I know, it's something, but 1,000?
Yeah,
1,000,
1,000.
okay.
Okay. Okay, we have 1,000 for the Center for Enriched Living. We have 15,000 for Mayor's House.
Right.
So if Erie gets, Erie was the one that we had a question mark because of the, good Lord, I forgot already.
Prairie State.
No,
That's something was missing.
Erie, no, Erie.
No, we gave them 1,000.
Erie, they use a different one, but other, township residents use Erie, is what they say.
We're giving them 1,000, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was,
Yeah.
okay, I have 1,000
1,000.
too. But for some reason I have a question mark here. It's Doug brought it up.
Yeah,
I think it was
the reason they made two.
Oh, that's
they
right.
made $2 million.
They have $2
Oh, yeah.
million in reserve, so what's 1,000?
Take it
Right.
off.
But they do service our residents who
Right,
don't have
right.
health insurance. So that's why we lowered it to 1,000.
So they have it in reserve so that they're not going to go bankrupt. So I mean, we
Right.
have money in reserves too.
So I think they were saying that was just their profit last year.
It was a problem. Budget is a
Right,
problem.
it's not reserved.
I'm sorry, profit, I used the wrong one.
So 1,000.
There's a difference between a
Yeah.
municipality or a
I get it, I get it.
Okay,
I know.
so
And the
next
reserves,
one,
I know.
Jody's Closet.
I know, but
Two.
I work with nonprofits too, so I know.
What we gave them last year, the two? Joy's Closet, I'm suggesting
Moved on.
2 like we did last year.
Two.
I put 2,500.
Yeah.
So half of what they asked for?
Yeah.
Okay, you got this, 2,500? Okay. Next, LPBSA, they asked for 3,500. And I was proposing the 2,500 like we gave them 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, almost 100.
And then we got Nakasa asked for 2. We gave them 2 last time.
And we use them, right?
Yeah.
I think that what Lori was saying is more for drug, alcohol.
Oh,
Yeah, she mentioned, okay.
Yeah.
So what do y'all want, the 2,000?
Well, it says crisis intervention and mental health
Yeah.
services. Which is, we didn't add.
And it could also be just that it's crisis, because we are not a crisis.
right, they're 24/7.
And they service our people
They
in
do.
Gila Township.
I don't know if anyone else did.
It's like
What
they
is
use
Lori,
you time.
22 people, yeah, we should give them something.
She said they had 6.
6.
Oh, I said 22 on that second page. That's
6 or 66?
Yeah, that's a good question. I thought the same thing, but I knew it was, I didn't think it was 66.
Number 12, it says 22 of the
You would
general.
want to pay.
Oh, yeah, you did say that. If we were, well, I don't know why you have 6 on the other page.
That's a lot. Isn't it?
One of these applications.
I know, tell me about it. I'm crazy looking at it.
Right, right.
All right.
So what did we say? Gloria, what do we?
We were on Nakasa.
Yeah.
I thought we should pencil in 2 for now, so let's see where we're at.
Okay.
We talked about 2 for North Suburban Legal,
Yes.
5,000 for PATH,
Yeah.
and 1,000 for Wings.
You want to say price? She doesn't use that, she
Can you hear me okay?
Okay, so hang on, we're adding it up.
Okay.
We're at 33,500.
Okay. What about, are we gonna reach out to Zachariah too?
No.
So they didn't send any.
They didn't send anything on time.
Okay,
We're at 33.5. Are we good with that?
good with it. I am.
So you gotta use that
Wait,
legal.
33.5, so we have 500 left?
We do.
Then,
We have $500 left. We want to give it to somebody. A safe place?
If we work with them so
Yeah,
much,
thanks, please.
that's the one we work with the most.
and they.
I missed what, I
We
don't
have
know what.
500 extra dollars.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we do, yes,
A safe place
A
or
safe
Jody's
place.
Closet, which one?
a safe place.
Okay. So we're going to give them 3 and they ask for 2,500.
They'll be happy.
Okay?
I mean, out of their whole budget.
I know.
Right.
Okay.
Then do you think we should fund the other legal that you don't use?
They didn't supply. They didn't apply.
No, but she uses hers, so why
So
should?
you're talking about within 48 hours?
No. She's talking, Lucy's proposing not giving anything to North
Oh,
Suburban because we don't.
I'm sorry, misunderstood.
Because she doesn't use them.
I thought you meant add on.
But Gila Township
But you-
residents
Use them, yeah.
They're there,
They just,
yeah.
Okay.
People
our
use
residents
them.
use them. We'll move
So,
on.
the 48 hours, I think we all agree with it.
I'll give them by the end of the week. Okay? All right. Sorry, I know this is
All
always
right.
a challenge. I
I
know.
know that Zachariah is a fun.
Maybe they have an in-person, I don't know. Okay, town hall parking lot paving. Technically, we had two sections that still have to be done. But it makes sense to do them both at the same time, because it doesn't make sense to do the west entrance and then do the portion in front of the concession stand, because then all these trucks are going to be coming on the new driveway. So it makes sense to do the whole thing. With that in mind, the cost now is estimated to be at $175,000. So the idea is to go out to bid in the next month or so that we can get it done before camp starts.
Camp
And Flames.
What was in the budget?
Well, this would come out of the next budget. So I want to include $175,000 in the next year's budget to cover that parking lot.
And that one that we were talking about, they had 500,000?
That's for our residence area, not our parking lot.
Okay, so this would be under
Different
administration.
Exactly.
Parks.
Is there,
Parks capital improvements.
any zoning issues with tying those two
And is that
programs
in
together?
the
It's not in the notes.
The back lot is,
So we can, because we don't want to interfere with campers coming off and the kids, and the toilets and the kids, and we got to get it done before that. So the idea would go out to bid and then get it done in May. Okay?
yeah, you go right up to the top.
Next is the discussion on newly elected board training.
Yeah, so as I discussed at the last meeting, I reached out to our lawyers, and they said they can do the training between $700 and $1,000. So very deal, right? So she's formulating a formal quote, and I should have that at the next.
What is it?
To train the newly elected officials. And so Blake will do it instead of having
Instead of hiring that Southern Illinois person.
Lori suggested that he reach out to Hansel and Blake,
Yeah.
and he did, and he said they can do it for a cheaper price.
So training the new trustees
The new trustees on like OMA,
in
FOIA.
lieu of the townships doing that.
Well, so like TOI had.
That's what we're talking about, right?
Well, yes, I'm just elaborating on your comment. So yes, so TOI and MTA do have trainings that you could go to, but those would be in Springfield. So instead of having the trustees on their own time go down to Springfield, we would bring the training to them.
That's right. I had to go for training.
That's
And
November.
they're prepared to do it, and what
But also, I did the training through that, and they didn't talk about, it wasn't complete training.
Right.
TOI.
Yeah.
I went through the training with TOI, and it was not everything that we needed to know.
And you get the book.
Yeah. It doesn't have anything about text messages in there.
About text messages and code records.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just questions that the TOI training did not cover.
Are we bringing that up to TOI? I mean,
Yeah. So I mean, it was asking me to get the quotes.
we keep doing more for, the state, the county, the school districts. I mean, they keep cutting programs, they keep cutting costs, and we have to keep incurring all those additional costs for everything. I mean, you look at all of our expanded programs.
TOI charges to go to their classes too, so this is a replacement for that.
It's a total thing. I mean, it's to talk about what's going on with township government. Well, you've been to the programs, you know that it's not just training for the people to understand what townships do and what the legal aspects are and how we're working with.
This
is
not to replace the TOI conference. Oh, okay, well, the way you're talking, it sounds like it.
Yeah, you guys got a lot to do.
I know.
Yeah, and I just think going in, not knowing what the turnover is going to be, even if it is minimal. Laws constantly change. Things are always evolving to where getting it in front of them is.
So this would be in lieu of, so that the new people who are elected come in, then they wouldn't be asked to go to Springfield for the...
They wouldn't, I mean,
We're not saying that.
no, so the TOI conference, the annual TOI conference in November, that's separate training than, like, what is your role as a trustee? What is your role as the clerk? What is your role as...
I'm just trying to understand the request.
Yeah,
So, why?
I thought this request was from you, from him originally.
well, so Larry's request was to do like a manager's training for board members in terms of like the environment of the work environment.
Okay.
This would be more to educate the newly elected officials on what their roles and responsibilities are as a trustee, as supervisor, as a clerk. You know, what laws are in terms of open meetings act. You know, because if it's a whole new board, they're not going to be
Right.
They're not going to have that knowledge. And so I just think getting as much education as they possibly can, as soon as they can, will only serve the board, even if it is low turnover, but still, you know, things are always changing.
Correct. That's
The
right.
TOI is not until November.
Right, exactly. This is more,
Elections in April.
Exactly.
so more current, it'll be newer.
Minimal expense for training.
And yeah, I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised when I saw what came to that.
All right, wonderful. Thanks for looking at that.
Okay, next is the generator grant bid approval.
So
Last week
we had the bid opening. We received a total of 4 bids. The low bid was $131,000. The high bid was $208,000. I won't say that's the way. Gable created a bid recommendation, and they have, so the low bid came from Kelso Burnett Company. They have experience working with them, so they recommended that we go forward with the low bid. So
The specifications are met with the equipment and...
What was the high? 208,000.
So at a price point of 100, so just again to make sure everybody's on the same page, the grant that we received from the community funding project grant was up to $150,000 with a 75%, 25% match. So we won't get the full $150,000 for the grant because the project is less than $150,000 plus 25%. But so this is great. So this is our best case scenario. So we'll once you get the bid approved, we can begin work on it. All of our preliminary paperwork with HUD is completed, and so we're just waiting on us to start the project. So after some time, we're now in a position where we have a green light.
Since the low bid, the one you're entertaining, is under the grant money amount, can we alter or add in the bid? I don't know if we have extended warranty programs and stuff that we could put in with the low bidder that they could add to this that can be recovered via the grant.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I can ask you to that. So any additional cost, the township will be responsible for 25%. But if you're going to do that, now is the time. Because after that,
that's exactly where we're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Normally, in these kind of bigger bids or grants that come in, those kinds of extended warranties and spare parts programs and stuff, maintenance programs, can be added in if it's under.
Yeah, and the first thing I'll have to do is confirm that if a warranty is a covered expense for the grant. If yes, then I have.
Does that cover the concrete pour?
That is
and the
everything.
fencing?
That is everything. Yes.
Okay, we got lots to move on with, yeah. Budget. The whole budget you have to go through. Well, we're not going to go through the whole budget. Whole budget. Okay.
Well, we've rehashed this a lot.
So we've had preliminary conversations now with all of the department heads going in and we ran over some of them, ran through all this. So I had no intention of going line by line. We'll just call out some of the bigger modifications, and we'll put the salaries aside here for a second as well. So keeping in mind that Gloria and I will have one more pass to ensure that the 25-26 requested budget lines match up. But if there are any changes, they will be good. So, yeah, so I guess we can just start with Fund 1 if that's an acceptable place for everybody.
Okay.
Okay, so you see here,
Before you start, can I will sign it.
yeah, you're, yeah.
Because I don't even.
That's fine. Thank you for your time on your,
Thank you.
and your help on the.
Yeah, no problem.
So for our levy, we levied 2.1 million for projected beginning balance. That's our carryover. What we're projecting for at the end of the year, it's 2.9. So we're projecting a total revenue for Fund 1 at 5.2 million.
Just to clarify that, these numbers through 3/31/25 are your estimate and where we're going to be at 3/31/25.
On this sheet, on what you're looking at, no.
The activity is still through.
I can't. I'm
The activity is 225.
the activity is the date of printed. Correct. Yes.
In the upper left-hand corner, that's the date.
Yeah. There's nothing I cannot change.
What did you send us?
I sent you my own spreadsheet where with Lori and I, we look at the budget and we say, okay, for example, just whatever, internet.
Yeah.
We've spent X so far. What are we projecting to carry over?
What do we expect to spend in one more month?
Yeah. And then I update my spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet that you have from me is projected. We
That's
cannot.
in Excel. This is BSA.
BSA does not allow us.
5 by 10, multiply 12.
Well, right, yeah.
Pretty much.
Exactly, yeah, right. But there's no way for, with the BSNA software, there's no way for me to include projected.
And then with the
So, yes, there's nothing I can do with that. So, if we ignore salaries, the first.
What page are you going
Yeah, we're on page 2.
Okay.
The only thing that we upped was office equipment for the most part, 5,000. New clerk, new computer, new phone.
What line are those?
That would be 559. We up to 1,000.
559, okay.
Otherwise, almost everything else stays the same.
And then for,
So why on postage and and printing? We spent $6,000 our budget, and we're budgeting 12.
All right, hang on a minute. Yeah, what's numbers supposed to be?
538.
Oh, there it is, 538. Okay, the reason that we're leaving it at 12 and we only spent 6 is because we didn't do a fall mailing. Our newsletter did not go in the mail; it was emailed, and I'm not sure if we're going to do that again this year. So we left the whole 12
Okay.
because it would double again. So we've got 12,000 euros,
Okay. And that's safe printing.
and that's the same for printing, exactly.
Okay.
And please, just like Doug, anytime we talk about these, just for reference, can we call up the numbers?
That would
we all
help.
can
You got
follow?
it. Yep, you got it. Because it's too hard to find.
Right.
All right, so then 546, 1-01546.
Just say the 546. Yep, dues and fees.
So we're at, again, if I'm looking at this, right, we're at $3,000 we're budgeting for the year. We're budgeting $9,000 next year. What?
yeah,
Why?
so some of those fees haven't come out yet.
Pardon me?
We still have to spend some of those.
What's
Yeah.
what's
But that wasn't even a year item. Right,
What you're saying
what
is
was
that-
projected to be, and it was mirroring this. So you're saying we're going to have another $6,000 before the end of the year?
So all I'm doing is looking at what we spent at the end of last year was 7,000. So the end 23-24 activity was 7,000. So
So you got a total of 7,000 all
Either
last
we're going to do it
All
one way or the other.
Well-
We're going to, I mean, we can't just, what we did last year and assume, and then some of these others were divided by 10 and multiplied times
On the
12.
Excel sheet that you sent out to us on Friday, you had 9,000 and then 3,500, and then it says you're looking at the cost.
Right.
That's on your Excel spreadsheet that
Okay,
you
yeah.
sent out
Right. So
Friday.
Yeah.
Right.
You sent it out Friday, and it had all your forecasts in there.
Yes.
So what are we going to spend $6,000 on?
we haven't changed any of our memberships,
Metro is over $3,000.
and that is at the end of last year we spent $7,000.
Oh, here, 2,300. I'm sorry, it says it. But MTA is 2,300.
And
Okay,
that's
well,
not
you've
for this year.
answered it, okay.
So
But to Doug's point,
I mean,
we
yeah.
have one line items. If we're going to estimate it, then we should assume the same thinking that you're doing with, like, this particular line item where
we haven't spent 7,000.
Because your spreadsheet
You
said
reflect
you
those
had
numbers.
3,500.
Okay, then,
Right.
yeah,
So
so,
I'm thinking, okay, why are we budgeting 9?
so that, again, we don't, I don't know what has not yet been paid. I'm just going off of what the 23-24 activity was 7,000. So we're not losing any memberships. We're going to spend about that. So if we want to drop the 9 to 8 or 7, we can, we can do
No,
that.
just revisit, if there's more costs to come, fine, but at least the projected.
We'll revisit that one.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
Right.
Okay?
So, to Doug's point, and my feelings is, it doesn't look like you're padding some of these things, that the actual cost is $2 and we're spending 30, we want 30. I mean, like, okay, we're going to line item this thing out next month and we're going to throw it. I mean, it's just good bookkeeping practices for transparency. It is just good housekeeping.
Well,
And I don't know if they teach that in training when we come up with training.
All right, so are we on page,
Legal
on
training.
page 2?
I
So
don't
the
believe that.
524 professional services and that's all our legal fees?
Right.
So we spent around 52,000?
No.
Last, when?
Yes,
Last year, I'm sorry, yeah.
52,000, yes. And so far today, we spent 23, correct?
Okay, we're budgeting 50.
Just, because that's what we budgeted last year, and we have a couple of lawsuits pending, so.
The iceberg effect.
So that number, okay, we'll leave that. Thank you.
Have you heard that county attorney, Doug?
I mean,
Have you heard the county
Okay, so
iceberg effect?
capital improvements.
What page, please?
And the next page,
321.
600.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we're keeping $1 million in the capital improvement line. That's our goal.
And just a question in reference to having the capital equipment line. Do we have a preliminary list of things that we would put in that?
It's in here, it's right here.
It's in the blue lines.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
I mean,
You're out of questions for the day. It needs to be updated though. I do want to put in there that we will start looking at replacing one of the assessor vehicles for $30,000 to $40,000. So when one of them we have is just over 10 years old.
And it's beginning to show signs of,
Yeah.
And is this where that parking lot is going?
And that is with Richmond Park.
They have an extra truck.
So replace it separately, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So right now, if you look at the blue lines, we're just putting in numbers, $150,000. Oh, you're not blue. Under 600, the description, 150.
Where are your blue lines coming in?
She put it in color.
yeah, Jessica didn't bring it.
Continue, Gloria, please.
They weren't printed in color.
The staircase project, we're putting in, we're guesstimating at 150. We have absolutely zero idea of what that's going to cost.
Right.
And
I'm sure here.
oh, we need it. Oh,
No, we don't.
okay. Here you go.
Thank you, dear.
Sure. And then the accessory vehicle, these are just items, they won't ever equal $1 million. That's just keeping it for emergencies, and any emergency that might come up that we might need to buy something. Okay? Okay. All right, so next page 4 is elected officials. The only thing that changed there was the cost or the salaries for the trustees. Otherwise, everything else stays status quo. Okay. Health and wellness. Most of their budget, again, avoiding or we'll talk salaries later and everything related to salaries later. So after that, everything else pretty much stays status quo. We increased dues and fees, which is 546, I believe because of Ebony attending some additional classes. And then under IT, which is 565, some of the software, the monthly software costs went up. So we were increasing that to 3,300, even though it says 2,800. I had 3,300, which is what
Yeah, so we'll
Sarah told me. So that one has to be reconfirmed.
I have a question about
Yeah.
559.
559, yes, office.
I had that there too, that they they spent more than that this year.
Yeah, that's because they needed a new copy machine, and they won't need another one next year.
Is $1,000 enough?
Well, they've gotten new chairs, right?
Yeah, they should be good. I mean, if you look at 23-24, they spent $989. So,
But, I mean, considering,
again,
okay, I just, you know, we had others, rate increases, you know, that was 2 years ago. And if something comes up, I mean, we have extra money to cover things in other departments, and health and wellness is always like bare bones, can't spend a penny more. So I don't know if $1,000 is enough for office equipment.
Well, she was fine with it. But I mean,
Okay.
I mean, $500, I don't think I want to spend a lot of time on $500, but we can certainly increase it based on that number.
Okay.
But we did go over this with Sarah.
I mean, in the cycle of refurbishing and, I mean, computers and office equipment, they're within the 5-year. Again, this is just my opinion. They're not gonna,
So we'll
without knocking some walls down.
Page 6, or whatever.
health benefits separate,
Yes.
and do payroll.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good jump.
Well,
I mean, if anything happens, we'll be back in.
health benefits, we can't do anything about health benefits.
What is the
We're up
health?
to 55,000.
How old are
I got a budget now of 85,000, and I got similar.
We haven't replaced them
So,
in 5 years I've been here.
Well, that's because the new person
4 years I've
needs
been here.
insurance for her and family.
No,
oh. Okay.
but the software is.
And it's like, and I don't know if this was spouse, I don't remember, but it's like either 18,000 or 25,000 a year.
Okay.
That's why. Okay. All right. Community center.
Do we know how old the computers are in the health wellness?
They're fairly new. I think Sarah got new ones since she's been here.
Like 4 years.
And you got the email from Joe, right?
I think we spent three computers purchased in the last 4 years.
I don't know. I don't. That's part of the inventory.
All right.
That he's working
I just
on.
want to make sure.
I got it. We can always.
That's a learning curve.
We have money on this fund one to pay for that stuff. Okay.
page
Grants.
6 now, everything's on page 6?
Yeah.
Okay, so community center revenue, homeless club recoveries went up from 66 to 70. Shooting Stars recoveries went up from 79 to 90. Senior programs, 95 to 100. We did reduce the meal recoveries because we're doing them less frequently. So, again...
Versus 4 and 5, right? Okay.
So again, but ignoring the salary portion of this.
I just want to make sure you're, with the recoveries, you're comfortable with it.
You got that email.
I know, I
from
did,
Joe.
but
It's very.
Okay.
Yep.
Because, I mean, people drop out. That's
Yeah.
what we talked about at the meeting.
Absolutely. No, I'm,
Okay.
those are very
A
solid.
lot of, I mean, this is putting a lot of pressure on the youth program
Yeah.
to make this budget.
Trust me, these are his scared numbers.
Okay.
So,
I just want to make sure.
yep.
Okay, so skipping down from salaries, we'll go down to, let's see, what's the next one?
Building maintenance, 520.
That stayed the same?
Oh, no, that stayed the same, and then nutrition went down to 3,000.
Right, because
Lunch and learning presentations
went
went down.
down. Yeah. And that's it on that page.
On page 7, we look.
Then we went down a few things actually. Down and postage.
I thought we need to meet our individual meetings, so we can look at that.
Okay.
80, the notes for long distance trips is long, but we're still at 25. Otherwise, everything else is a little, like
The
1,000 here,
only
1,000
thing is
there.
the last line, 585, we reduced down from 30 to 5 because
Correct.
30,000 was for the new sign.
Right.
And we have that already, so.
And paid for.
And so, and $5,000 is what
One of
we're.
the nicest signs in town.
It
We
is.
get so many comments about it, I love it.
It is. I agree.
We
Okay.
start selling advertisements.
Sensors. Well, Penny's here, but then she can go to work if she wants. Okay. Not that you're not working. I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it that way.
For the assessor, you'll see the salaries decreased. That's because of our contract with AccuBase. We have 2 less full-time staff. So, yeah, that's the reason for that. So those expenses if you go down to 544, professional services, you'll see
Bigger jump.
You'll see a much bigger jump because AccuBase has been coming out of there, so that's why we only budgeted 10, but we're at 75 for the AccuBase contract. So what we'll do is when we redline, we'll redline from the salaries, because as you can see, we're currently only at 261 of the 430 that we budgeted, so we'll use that difference to make up that difference.
Everybody understand that?
So we added 70,000 to the professional fees, we took off 40,000 in salaries. And where's the other 30,000 coming from?
Well, again, so it's not our 390,000 isn't what we're to the dollar what we're going to project to spend in salaries. There's some cushion there. Because I mean, we don't want to budget it to the dollar. Because if somebody were,
I get it, but we increased one by 70,000, and we're only decreasing the other by 40,000.
Well, 3/4 of the year will be covered by AccuBase. 1/4 of the year will be covered by salaries.
Because the AccuBase contract also expires in December. So
and we don't know what the new assessor will do. So that they'll continue with AccuBase or hire
I
somebody.
know, just for budget reasons, if we're increasing one by 70,000, we're decreasing one by 40,000, where's the other 30,000 coming from?
It doesn't have to work that way.
It doesn't have to work.
Okay, so we're just increasing the budget by $30,000, right?
Actually, at the end of the day, it's 20,000.
But either way, we might be increasing the budget. That doesn't mean we're increasing its actual expenses.
It's a line item.
I get it.
Okay. AccuBase is coming off of salaries.
This year. The next budget, we're moving it down to professional services. But she's assuming that we should reduce salaries by that same amount that we're increasing professional services. That's what she's stating.
It just, we're increasing one budget and decreasing less. So it looks like AccuBase is costing $30,000 more than having two employees here. If I'm just looking at this from an outside point of view. Because you're decreasing salaries, but you're increasing the others. So.
Yes, but come January.
But
Okay.
where did just so I totally understand what you're saying, Lori. But so for professional services, you're saying we're increasing it from the 10,000 to the 80, so that's a $70,000 increase, but we're only reducing 40,000 out of salaries. So where is that difference? Great.
Yeah.
So my answer to that would be it falls in one. AccuBase is not with us for the full year, so that 80,000. Again, the simple answer would be just because we're budgeting a line item for $80,000 does not mean that we're going to expend $80,000. We want to make sure that there's enough money in that line item to cover our costs. So, I mean, we could reduce that down to 70 or 60,000 for the budgetary purposes, but then we just run the risk of having to redline more items.
No, because it looks like we're probably going to come in right at $80,000 from this past year, right?
Right, but that's a full year, a full budget year of AccuBase.
That's not just AccuBase.
Well,
Professional services.
professional services, that's a great point, Penny.
Yes, this is
Because
still a legal thing.
that's a great point.
Appraisals for any approved that we have.
Well, but not only that, but we also have other losses spending. So
Okay.
that's a great point, Penny.
Thanks for reminding us. Before we go any further,
Yeah.
for the benefit of our employees here, we discussed we were going to talk about the salaries and not talk about salaries. Is that correct or not? Because we don't have the MGT final study. So
Yeah. So I mean, okay, so we can bring that up now, I guess. So traditionally, we've done raises effective April 1st. The thing about that is we don't even have our levy information until the end of March. And so in March, when we approve a preliminary budget, line items could still very much change. So Lori and I were talking about if it makes sense to do, just generally speaking, raises effective April 1st when we don't yet have all the information. Additionally, and for this year, because of the delay in MGT due to the lack of township responses, we're kind of even more in limbo. So essentially, the line items related to salaries are placeholders, so we can have an approved preliminary budget. They're not necessarily going to reflect where people end up based off, because we don't yet have the information. So we're doing the best that we can, when we meet to project out, but we don't know what the MDG findings are going to be. So Gloria and I were talking, does it make sense to do a deep dive into the salary, the salary sheets here today without full information, or should we just do a deep dive once we get everything in April, or March rather, for the April?
I don't want to go through this one. In particular, that's
Right.
Great. Okay.
Based on the timing we've got,
Great.
we'll wait
So
until the
in that
March.
case, we will not be going over the employees' salaries today. The numbers that you see here, again, are just a placeholder, so we can get something approved.
For the preliminary budget.
And then we'll deep dive into every employee at a later meeting.
Right.
So with that, I think if you guys would like to, again.
Well, we still got to go through the highway, so he might, if you could stay, but.
I have two quick questions. One, are you going to cover the idea of the competition coming later in the year?
Yes.
Meeting on Friday? Yes. I've already spoken with my staff and given them the whole reason, the education behind why, so we're good.
Okay.
But I think that
We talked about it at the highway meeting
in a
as well.
broader sense.
Yeah, we should.
I'm in the mud.
No, we talked to you about it.
What competition?
But hang on a second. So, yeah, you're welcome to go. If you'd like to, because I know you have a lot to talk about. Yeah, that was only
Well,
one.
yeah, then you say that I.
Talked about it. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I thought you had all that. Oh, I don't know, Jeff, never mind.
Do you have another one?
These are the numbers I read off.
Oh, thank you. I know you have a million things to do, so I didn't want you to.
No worries. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sit through and then not get to what the meat of what we were going to talk about. I know. Okay, so to piggyback on what, I don't want to say what he's saying, is that would mean we wouldn't get raising out until the budget was finally approved. So we have a little bit more time.
And so going forward,
So that means normally they're used to getting raises on April 1st.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
April 1st. But based on the MGT study not being complete, not having a budget approved until May, we were having discussions with the department heads that if you're all in agreement, that we should not give raises out until May. Because otherwise we're giving them raises, we're going back, then it comes back, we're changing them again. It's a nightmare for my staff to keep up with all this, with all the changes.
They're still going to get the money.
They're going to get a raise in May, so this will push them off getting a raise by a month, but then next year it will be May to May to May to May, and they'll continue on that way. Now, I don't know how anybody feels about that. That's what I
think it's right.
I think it only makes good financial sense to me, but any
No, I'm fine.
It's nice for you to check when you know the money's there.
Larry, you're okay with that decision?
Well, let's, just so we talk theory,
Yeah.
right? So from the standpoint of basing our decision on what comes through with the tax levy.
Which will have at the end of March.
So that would affect potentially what we're budgeting, but let's use the example that the tax levy comes in $500,000 less.
that would.
We're still going to do. From the standpoint of we've got to fund where we're at, we're going to eat into reserves to take care of that.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Okay. Then fine. And I don't want it all tied to one particular event. If we're way low, we're going to have to assess base where we're at and maybe not as high a raises, but if it doesn't cover it and we have no additional loss situation, we're going to eat into reserves, which is how it should be. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So first,
But odds of that happening are remote. So.
but you never know.
I just want the premise to be
right.
Our best estimate is based on the levy. If it's substantially off, no risk to any employees wages-wise.
Well,
we're going to be in a situation where we maybe can't give as much.
well, so that would be the risk then, right?
Right. Good. Okay.
That's another reason not to be raising.
Right.
balance. If it's $500,000, it probably had to be a combination of both.
I don't see that happening based on what we're asking
Just
for and what we're, I know, what we're allowed, but I get it, I get
I'm
it.
just talking theory.
It would be
Right.
something we would really have to, yeah, if we're
Yeah.
$500,000 short, we'd have to really look at that, but yes, we have reserves.
Yeah.
So I would say that,
One of the things that I brought up is that the assessor comes in January, and usually in past, I've seen raises at the assessor's office come through in January. And then when I came here, it was always April. And now they're pushing it back to May. And it's like, it's hard for the employees to see why the changes in the effective months.
I mean, just to play devil's advocate, something we could do is wait until the final budget is approved in May, and then we could backdate through April 1st their salary increases. That would create a headache for one payroll, but I mean, just throwing it out there, it's something that we could do.
I prefer to keep it simple and we just move forward. I know it hurts for 1 month, but, and I don't believe January's been a date since I've been here. It might have been before, but I'd have to do some digging to know that for sure. Oh, that was a different township. Okay, sorry. Well, I know because the assessor is in a different rotation. There are January to
It's
December.
always been April to.
Yeah. Okay. Here. Okay. Because honestly, that's what I always thought. So that's what I'm proposing. I think it makes sense. I think it's cleaner. I think it's only fair that the raises go out once we know we got the money. That's my thought process. Okay, so we are now into the assessors. Did we finish the assessor page? Or not? I don't know. Did we finish?
I believe so.
Yeah.
The big changes.
With the big changes. Oh yeah, we were talking about building maintenance. We increased because we spent more on them how we got down to 6 last year. I don't know what happened. That might have been a mistake. We increased phone, which is $1,500 for 532. We increased 544 professional services because of Accubase and pending suit. And after that, everything was status quo.
And so there's no new equipment needed.
No, they've gotten all new computers, all the chairs. They're good.
New ceiling tiles.
No,
You
that's
would
down
like
here.
heat to be changed or fixed in the assessor's office.
Yeah, it's
because
freezing.
every morning
It's like my
I
office.
have
No,
a meat
it's
pie.
worse. It's worse.
Ours is worse. Oh, that's because the guys did something to my ceiling. They blocked everything off. I don't have
They
air or
came
heat.
one morning and said, "Oh."
Yep, long underwear.
It's cool.
Okay.
the memo.
Okay, so
Transportation?
the only thing that really, the only change for execution was fuel. Not knowing.
What page are we on?
It's 9.
9. Yeah.
Transportation?
Outside of salaries, the only change made was fuel.
Okay.
Okay, so we can ignore page 10 because that will be our new Parks Division once the migration from Parks Fund goes into general account. That's why there's nothing there. Same thing with page 11.
So the parks are
Yeah, so
revenue.
So we did move the, I guess we could call this out, we did put the revenue that we're anticipating from parks into the general account because that's where the parks fund will be housed once the park fund runs dry.
And the expenses.
The expenses are still going to come out of the parks department until that fund is zero.
And same with cemetery.
Same thing with cemetery on page 11.
Income will go into the new fund, but the expenses will come out of the old fund.
And that will help reduce the need to increase the tax levy once all those funds run dry. So page 12 is
GA and EA.
yeah, EA and GA.
Let me just double check what the new form says. Oh yeah, 10 and 20. I want it to be the other way around, or at least emergency should be at least 20, because I never know what's going to happen. So 701, I would like to be 20,000, not 10.
Where are we at? Oh, okay.
Page 12,
Page 12.
21.
Account 701 and 702.
I increased this drastically back in COVID. It hit us because I didn't know what to anticipate, and we really did not realize as many requests as I thought we would get. So I think we can safely lower that number at this point, looking at our history. But I still want to have money in there, because that's the whole point of it. And we have money in there, so. Okay? 13, we get to highway. Income.
And we asked for $300,000 in our levy. We, as a part of our IGAs with municipalities, we have the ability to increase them 3%, so we just budgeted 3% of our budget request for last year. So if you go down now on page 14, 544, professional services, we increased that to 5,000 from 1,000 because we have a situation where we will probably need legal advice regarding it's Hawthorne Woods resident, right? Yeah, and they're basically the short story long of that is a private resident stormwater that goes in their private backyard. That system is failing, and they are refusing to fix it, but it's impacting township residents. So we don't have an easement to fix it. Hawthorne Woods doesn't want to get into it because it's on private property, and because it's not impacting the residents' property, he is not interested in taking any expenses to fix the problem. So, sorry?
Pass it on to the township.
That's what they want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But he doesn't want us on our property.
The problem is, so there's two problems. One, it's a bigger project than our guys can take on.
Yeah.
Right.
And two, it's going to cost us more money to do it because we have to pay prevailing wage than if he does it. So one thing, that's an evolving situation.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
Once we get the lawyers involved, he's also a lawyer.
We went to Keaton School at Watch.
Larry. Okay, let's move on.
So that's 14.
21. 14 of 21, sorry. Okay, so again, back to, oh my God, this is nuts.
Which page are you on now?
14 of 21. This is the administration.
Well, we just talked about 544.
I'm sorry. 544?
It's the legal.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
So we're on page 15 now.
Okay, sorry.
So that's the administrative division. Now for the maintenance division.
Right.
You'll see an increase on vehicle maintenance, and again, as well as equipment. My fault. 567, 569.
563. Yeah.
563.
We moved that up to 50 yesterday. Why? Because we never know when we're going to need to fix some of our equipment.
We're getting 3 new vehicles.
But we don't have them yet. I mean, we're still dealing with the snow truck that's supposed to be replaced 3 years ago.
With the delay and
Jeff wanted us to go to 50.
Maintenance costs.
Remember?
Yeah, no, she didn't.
Remember that? It's because he wanted to have the money there. Because you never know when something could happen. It could slide off the road and cause damage and it's got to get fixed. I mean, it's the unknown. Yeah, no problem.
What else will change?
567, we stayed at 35.
Yeah. So that.
These didn't get changed.
Yeah, I don't know whether.
569 was going up to 50.
But not 55.
50. I'm sorry, 50. Okay,
No, it's supposed to be 50.
It went down to 50.
Yes.
So that's wrong on the page?
Yeah.
This page, for some reason, didn't get updated, 50.
Yeah.
So 567 is 35.
Mm-hmm.
569 is 50.
Correct. And 577 is staying at 40.
So just to clarify also for that line, that's materials that we purchase for jobs that we do for the villages. That money gets reimbursed. So
From the villages.
Correct. So whatever we spend there is not money that comes out of our coffers. It gets reimbursed to us by the villages to do the work. And then 600 reduced from the 675 to the 200 because we moved the expense for the paving project for this year from this fund to Perm Road.
So the only thing in there is really $150,000 for half of that new truck. Everybody clear on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Firm Road.
Okay, we asked for 1.5 million. We're projecting a carryover of 157. Total revenue 3.1. So 515 uniforms and testing goes back to the conversation we had with the guys about increasing.
What line is that?
515.
515.
I asked him, Ted, to look into the expenses, and then if we made it 600 for all the employees, we would have to increase that from 9 to 10.
So that one will have a slight modification. Then so we can jump down to
582.
582.
Mm-hmm.
So.
This is a fun conversation.
Well, and ultimately, no decision needs to be made here today because we're budgeting for the expense. But we have a project that's been kind of on hold.
Is it that long?
Yeah.
Before I was here.
Yeah. Okay.
So the project was started 5 years ago. A Forest Lake resident is experiencing extreme flooding in his yard. So to not drill down too deep, we applied for a DECO grant in the amount of $375,000 to pay for the estimated $423,000 project.
And what's our best guess now, 50-50 yet? Or is it
So
Hang on.
So we've been kind of told that we were, here's the update that we received after the meeting yesterday. We were awarded the money. So we have the $375,000. Well, it's been awarded to us. However, it will not be released to us until that expense is attached to an appropriations bill. So
For phase 3. So in other words,
it's approved but not funded.
exactly. So it's exactly like if you think recently to our grant for the generator. We were approved by Quigley, back in whenever. And it took 8 months for them to attach it to an appropriations bill.
to give you the money.
So the grant was awarded, but we're waiting for the federal government to attach the expense to an appropriations bill. Based on the current climate, I have no idea if and when that will ever happen. So the question is, since we've already been waiting 5 years to, get the money, since the project started, how much longer are we willing to wait before we just accrue all of the costs?
So the money for phase 2
Yes.
money has already been
Allocated.
allocated.
So phase 2 was
Done.
attached to an appropriations bill.
So they're on phase 3, which is where we are.
We're this far down the road. Why not?
But the thing was, at this time last year, we kind of put, okay, this fiscal year would be the year that we cut bait and just pay for it.
But that we didn't know where we were last year.
Right. So.
And now we're closer to it than we thought.
And something that if we start the project, we're not eligible for grants anymore.
Right.
You can't. I mean, I'm sorry. You're this far down the road. Look at all the pluses and minuses.
It's more complicated than that.
Yeah, it was just a conversation we had at the highway department meeting. So after we had called Darren on a separate issue, so I just asked him, hey, where are we on this? Because, we were waiting for, well, you guys have the award. It's just a matter of, again, attaching it to appropriations bill.
And they released it, right.
So we have no idea when that will happen. So we're going to approve the budget. So again, this would be similar with other federal grants. It's a reimbursement grant. So we have to come up with the funds in the first place. So at this time, we're going to include it in our budget. And if the decision is made to just, enough is enough, and we're just going to bite the bullet and do this project, we have the funds.
Mm-hmm. So the highway is saying, though, there's other projects that need to be done. And because this one's on hold, they're not getting done, number one. And number two, if we continue to push this down another year. This affects the roads that we need to get done, because we don't want to do the roads and have all this heavy equipment going in with truckloads of asphalt and everything coming in and out.
Right.
So this is why this is here before us today. So I think, based on the amount of $375,000, I think it's worth waiting for yet. That's my opinion. Also, this might have come to our attention 5 years ago, which I'm not knocking, it's still 5 years, but it did take a while, I think, to get to the point where we actually submitted documents to get the grant, I think. But regardless, that could have been a year, I don't know. But I know that it's been a while, because Michael was here when this whole thing started. So.
All the documents were submitted before I started.
Okay.
And that was through Dan Stringer.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Dan was on the job site.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, that conversation.
That $375,000 can go a long way doing a lot of other things.
Absolutely, just want to know how we're going to communicate.
I know.
That's, I mean, it all makes sense, agree, but we just have to communicate it, so that there's not questions thinking, oh, you've had it for 5 years, right?
Yeah, you're not doing anything for us. I get it. I get it. And Mike has gone to the HOA meeting, and maybe we just have to do that again, so that they know that, hey, we know there's a problem, we're working on it, we're waiting for the government to release the funds, because we know we're going to get it. And like I said, 375 versus the project was 423 originally. It might be higher now because years have gone on, right? So we're including 550 in that line item to account for that, because the Carnegie project has been paid for and that has come out now.
And just to update everybody on that, the Carnegie project has been completed, the paperwork has been submitted, and we have a clear to be reimbursed. So whenever the state decides to reimburse us the $48,000, we'll get either we'll get a check, but they did indicate they might send it electronically. So I have Kathy and Lena checking our funds to see if all of a sudden we have a windfall of $48,000. We know where it came from.
Right. Okay.
All right, and then the last item is 600 on page 17. That jumped from that moved from the 6.5 to the 1.2 because again we moved the paving expense into this fund for this year.
It also includes the purchase of the finished paint for the T2 truck, which has been on order for 3 years, and the purchase of a new T2 and T5.
T4.
I'm sorry, T4 and T5. Sorry, you're right. I just got my numbers mixed up.
Truck 4 is the service body, and truck 5 is the low pro that we just got approved at the last board meeting.
So that's why that's increased to $1 million too. And these trucks, like you said, they're very old and they need to be replaced. It's just availability. So, any questions on the highway budget? Okay, and we'll move on to parks.
So parks,
page 18.
page 18 to 21. So if we just move on down to expenses.
We reduced park maintenance because the catch-up treatment was completed. What number is that? I'm sorry, 521. And 563 we lowered
Because the drinking fountain was purchased.
last year, and it just needs to be installed, and the bleachers are on hold, so we don't need money for that, so it's just regular maintenance at this point, and the installation of the drinking fountain.
We were going to purchase bleachers, I'm not going to.
Well, there was supposed to be a sharing thing with the Flames, and they put that on hold, so we have it on hold. Vehicle maintenance needs to have 1,000 put into it. Right now it's got 0, 569. Oh, last line up. There should be $1,000 in there. It got mixed somehow. 574. Is that 40? I'm sorry, page 19.
Yeah, I'm missing.
Page 19?
No.
No? You don't have 19 either? Oh, you do. Okay, 19 is right here.
We're going to have to top dress the field. Oh, you got it in there. Never mind.
Okay, good.
Park maintenance.
Community?
No, this one. Next part. By the way, for a parks update, Flames said they would like to use the township community.
No, I figured that, but that's a no-brainer.
Okay.
I use that hashtag, as Larry would say, it's no pressure.
Yes, she did use that.
Oh, she did say play ball after the Pledge of
No,
Allegiance.
No, I did. Larry's not.
So you were there and prepared.
You're welcome. Okay, so Eula Historical Projects, the last pending thing for them is the carpeting replacement. I thought we had 40 in there. I thought I had 30, but I have 40 in there. I'm anticipating, I mean, if it's just carpeting, obviously that's more than we need, but with any structural.
Where did the engineering come out that you said an engineer went there last
Yes.
time? Where did that come out of Parks?
I have not paid, he has not written a report yet. He went and visited, I just have to pay for the report, and he gave me a quote on that. It's
And that'll
upstairs.
come out of Parks?
That will come out of Parks.
This
Yeah.
historical
Everything museum.
thing is telling you, coming up, everybody be prepared.
Yeah. Well, but also, I mean, we don't want to put carpet on the floor that isn't safe and then have something happen.
There's a lot of,
I wasn't sure
I
about
wouldn't,
I mean, the building was built in 1850, whatever, so I mean,
and it was moved at one point too, so.
There is so
Well,
much
that's
stuff
like,
that's on that second floor,
yeah.
which is that,
so we want to make sure it's safe.
so when the engineering
The
comes
parking
back,
is
it's,
in here, the parking lot's in here, and then the total cost,
And the sign is going to come out of here too.
the new Knox Park Center.
Yeah.
And this parking lot, that's going to include the additional that you were speaking about earlier.
Well, see, the 200 won't be enough. Obviously, if the parking lot's 175.
Okay.
So we'll have to, but you see, we're already spending down this account. We'll have to adjust that 200.
when's that survey going to be completed on the historical building? The engineering.
He doesn't know because I haven't paid for it yet. I haven't signed the contract yet. Because I'm waiting to find out what the cost is from the, I don't even know what his title is. Structural engineer, it is pricing. It's the guy who's doing the testing on the wood testing.
Well, the testing is what I'm asking, like, so when is that going to be?
It can be done probably next month. And then we'll have to go out to bid.
Tell you, it's going to be a shocking.
I'm afraid it might be, but we gotta make it safe.
You're out of your
Yeah,
seats.
yeah.
We have to make that building safe.
Especially,
Number one concern.
I'm not worried about wood, or structure.
especially we know about
That
something.
building was never
Okay,
designed.
for sure, right. So, yeah, we're gonna look, I gotta look at that 200. I don't think it's enough.
And
So that's what
that's going to change.
That one's gotta be
Putting
updated.
carpeting-
Cemetery, I think that one pretty much stays status quo, except to be reduced.
Have to be redone.
IT, which is 565, because we already purchased the software cemetery, but we still have
The reason.
that recurring annual fees to include. So that's probably down
They
to
have a
5.
computer?
Pardon?
They have a computer?
They do?
Yeah, Jeff has a laptop.
A laptop.
Advocates.
You don't know.
I wasn't sure if he just used an iPad or what.
No, he has a,
It was my old
oh,
laptop.
yeah, his old laptop. He took his old laptop. We repurposed it. So, that's it for some time. Sorry, guys, I know this was a long meeting, but I knew it would be. Based on, and we haven't even gotten to the salary section.
For all the work.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have questions?
Question,
Yeah?
last town meeting, we talked about looking into security.
Yes, that's a good point.
And
Yeah.
the budget for it, is it something that's funded or what?
So, great question, Doug, and I failed to mention that, I didn't ever know. I contacted the village of Lake Zurich, and they could have an armed officer here for $190 a meeting.
Is that for 2 hours? Wasn't there a 2-hour minimum?
Wait, what is it?
So at the last how it got brought, bringing additional security measures to the boardroom was discussed. And a lot of different things were thrown out, and that was requested for me to get pricing or to see if local municipalities could have a police officer here. So I reached out to Kyle. He's like the number 2 guy over at Lake Zurich, and it would be $190 a meeting. The problem is you can't guarantee, because they're short staffed in Lake Zurich, you can't guarantee an officer every meeting.
I think we start our own police force. Jack Rick and I got it all.
Stop.
So
Stop.
So 190?
$190 per meeting. But
Yeah, they're available.
the only caveat is.
It's only one officer, or?
One officer.
Well, so it'll be one officer a shift. It might not be the same officer.
Oh, okay, but the odds of not being, if they know we're meeting whatever day.
Right, and we tell them in
Yeah,
advance.
yeah.
Well, you never know if there's.
Right.
What is generated?
Just a general, I mean, it was a general conversation that occurred at the last meeting about safety, potential safety concerns, and, you know, compared to what other municipalities, like I said, you know, Gloria and I have been to 2 of the board meetings since
This week, and
well, now Hawthorne Woods had a bunch of.
the whole force was there.
Well, but that was because.
But that was because it was being
recognized with most DUI
Did you
arrests.
rent
or
that?
something.
Yeah, they knew I was coming, yeah.
And then, but Long Grove also had an armed police officer there, so.
They did?
They did,
Oh,
so.
he just comes and leaves though. He doesn't stay the whole meeting.
The sheriff wasn't there for the whole meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
He was probably there just for that item on the agenda, and he probably left.
He leaves, yeah, he leaves, because I used to go to those meetings.
Yeah.
He just
Well,
unfortunately.
yeah, I also left that program, so I didn't know that, so yeah, so what do you think?
Oh, I used to have to go to that one all the time.
Theo is very impressed. He wants to go to more meetings.
Oh, okay.
What?
So we in favor of this?
I am.
All in favor,
Is
say aye.
police the way to go, though?
I mean,
Versus what?
Yeah.
It's the only thing for immediate response. I don't want to wait 15 minutes.
Right.
But what if we looked into equipment?
No.
And who's going to enforce it?
Okay, we're going it up.
I have no, like, I'm not passing people down if they.
I'm not
Yeah, police.
Yeah.
All right, so then I will reach out to Kyle again and kind of get a more formalized.
And if anybody wants that.
Where's that, what budget line is that coming out of?
I mean, do
Trustees?
we reach out to Hawthorne Woods and see if they're cheaper? I mean,
We
does it have
could,
to be an
yeah.
answer?
No, but that's just where I started. Yeah, I could reach out to the other municipalities.
Yeah. And they pick the
Well, Lake
cheapest
County
one and
charges
let's go.
down because
Or
they don't do anything for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's true.
Well, we're getting.
Or do they have jurisdiction here?
It's
I don't know how that works. Does it
Ask
have to be
Hawthorne
Lake
Woods or
Zurich?
Lake Zurich.
I don't think it has to be.
I don't think so either.
Killed
That
him.
is a good question.
Good
I don't know
question.
about Hawthorne Woods being acceptable,
So,
but
one of the requests.
Lake County Sheriff's might be.
Cross ties, yeah,
Part of the reciprocal program of intergovernment agreements.
That's right.
Killdeer,
Yeah.
we step up to Michael.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right,
I would approach
It was one of the-
Killdeer.
I will.
Now,
Can you get back to us?
I will.
Okay.
Where's that coming out of? What line item is that coming out of?
For professional services.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to take that into.
Well, we're trying to avoid the cemetery.
Right.
But it's only going to be for board meetings,
It's only board meetings for
not
now.
COP.
Yeah, because the board meetings are, yeah.
All right. Good.
I will take
I think
a short
it's
time this
start.
morning.
I think the board meeting is a start.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
start, yeah.
And it lets people know that we're
Right.
serious about this
Right.
agenda.
Okay.
And you'll see the first.
Meeting adjourned at 11. Okay? Oh, wait, that's wrong. 11:02, sorry. Yes, keep you posted on, yeah, of course. Well, I already have the baseball one.
Right, I know. We're gonna see everybody tonight, right?
Yeah.
Meeting adjourned?
We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody, for your time today. I know it's
Hi,
long,
yeah, I took some mine too.
but necessary.
It's that time of the.
Just to be here. Then, oh, wait, no, it's not done.
Oh.
Because the next Cal meeting is wrong.
Oh.
Okay, so we have to
We have to reconvene.
When is it?
well, so we have a situation with that.
Okay, so I'm sorry, we have to reopen the meeting.
This should take significantly less time than everything else.
I would hope so. Okay. So I'm reopening the meeting at 11:03 with a quorum. And I know who's here, so we're good. Okay. So on the agenda, it says March 26th, which we had already discussed that some people were going to be missing that week because they're going to be on spring break. Who's going to be missing that week? You?
I've tentative to be missing.
Anybody else?
Of the 26th,
Yeah.
hold on, I'll probably be here.
You'll probably what here?
You'll be here?
Yes.
So, because the issue was, we tried to moving it to the March 19th.
Because everybody could make it except for,
Yeah, I'll be here the 26th.
there was somebody who wasn't going to. So
Well, let's talk to
possibly
that.
the 19th's a problem, which is the week before, because now that's because of this Governor Pritzker situation.
That's-
We want to go down
that's lobby
to
day.
Springfield, and that's lobby day.
And so we were
So
going to go.
we were not
So
gonna
that's why you have to release the
Oh,
19th.
yeah, because I remember I asked, I was like, will we go in the lobby day? And he said no.
Well, yeah, well, because that was before the Pritzker thing happens, and so now TOI and MTA are kind of
We kind of feel like we
encouraging
should
everybody
go.
there.
Yeah, we should.
So if you're interested in going, we missed the room block, but
We were not
Yeah,
going
let's
we
go.
to.
were going to spend the night in Springfield anyways.
That's
So-
what we did last time, we drove up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So
That's fair.
we can still go, but we just we can't stay there the night.
Right.
We're not going to be doing it. So,
Well, you can still spend the night, you just miss the block of room.
Got to be in.
We're not going to spend the night.
Either way, so if you're interested in going, I will be there, and I believe you said you're going.
I'll go if you're going, because I don't want to drive there and back by myself.
So if anybody else is interested in going,
So then
let
we
me
can leave
know.
the meeting on the 26th.
That's fine.
And if you're not here,
That's fine.
I'll keep you.
Keep it posted.
Yeah.
Okay, well then-
We could have approved it, like,
This will be this board budget that we discussed today with the minor tweaks that we talked about will be in the board packet for the meeting to be approved at the town hall, at the board meeting in March. And if there's anything that changed majorly, we will send out an email so we can highlight.
So by the March cow, we should have the MGT data and all that stuff.
preliminary budget and the final budget will be voted on.
In May, correct, preliminary budget, so we can still pay bills in April, that's why we do it. Yeah, I know, that's fine.
Well,
If I said it wrong, I'm sorry.
No, well, so the March cow will have the final budget, because then we need to put it on.
Right.
So it's not
No, the March board meeting is
the
preliminary.
March board meeting, but the March cow is final.
No, maybe not, we may not know by March 26th from the county yet.
I mean, just.
We probably won't.
We probably won't.
Yeah.
But the problem is then how do we get the,
We still have 30 days before the May meeting.
okay.
So what, the reason to discuss salaries on March 26th, now, guys, sorry. We will discuss salaries on March 26th for this budget, because by then we should have the MGT.
Right, okay,
Because we have to post the final budget 30 days in advance to be approved in May. So that puts us to the beginning of April.
I won't be here for the salary budget thing.
You said tentatively.
Yeah.
I know it.
I mean,
Well, then we
we
have to
can have
change
a
the date. Do you want to change it to April?
Or,
Well, I mean, we can have a conversation with you on the side.
But that still doesn't hear everybody else.
yeah.
What would you want to do?
So we're leaving it
Friday?
as is?
Oh, yeah, can we do it the Friday of the 19th?
The Friday of the night, oh, you mean the Friday after the 19th, or have a 2
To
minutes?
the 21st.
The 21st? Oh, that's Lori's birthday. We'll have cake for you, Lori.
About budget, what a fun day.
I know.
Does not work for me.
Okay.
What about the
How about the
Monday?
28th?
Okay, the 20th.
Well, that's still
that
spring
whole
break.
week she's gone.
You're still going because it's spring break.
You know what, let me get back to you. I can get back to you,
Okay,
if
so
we're definitely going, because we might.
We'll schedule it tentatively for the 26th. If we have to reschedule, I'll email everybody.
They really want to get it done before. Okay, the other option would be March
Are you available at all that week of
the 21st.
Of the 17th? Because I can
March 21st is your birthday?
Yes.
The week of the
But she
17th?
said no big deal.
You're not going to be in town that week.
Oh, that's.
Well, I am, I just have a lot of things medically and a couple other things.
No, I was just thinking I
I
could.
cannot, the week of the 17th doesn't work.
At all.
26th.
Okay, so the 26th and 28th is no good for you, maybe. Okay, so
So
I wish I had my
you're out the first week, she's out the second week. So
Yeah.
one of you.
well, that's
Well, but
6th and 4th, but whatever.
Well, this is the first week that we're talking about versus the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So,
What should we do with this first week then?
no, because
First
Larry's
week of what?
out the whole week.
I plan my medical stuff around the 26th, so.
Oh.
But
Okay.
So, Tossie, if you can confirm that your status for that week, if we have conflicting, I will reach out to
My
you.
brother.
So tentatively scheduled March 26th until otherwise noted.
Okay, any other discussion?
Can it be earlier in the week, like that Monday?
Like the 24th?
Yeah.
And then Lori's got work.
Oh,
I mean, I could.
You know what, I'll get back, if Monday's okay with them, or Tuesday, what you do, I don't anticipate to work.
It's fine.
Tuesday?
I could work on Wednesday then if we do it on a Monday.
Okay.
You know, I
So
could.
why don't we just leave it the 26th as the way it was planned and see if.
Well, because Tassie can't make it.
Because I can't make it.
we're trying
but
to.
she can make it maybe the 24th. So you let us know, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
So right now, we're scheduled penciled in for the 26th,
I will.
I might go to the 24th. Is that correct?
Oh, you want us to do it Tuesday?
Oh,
Is that correct, girls? Okay. Right now, we're tentatively penciling it in for the 26th. And if you're going to be gone, we're going to pencil it in we're going to vote for the 24th.
Does
Is
the
that correct?
24th work for everybody else?
No.
Oh.
I said that already.
I thought you couldn't make it the week of the 17th.
the week of the 17th, you were in
This
there.
is the week of the 24th.
Okay, well, if it doesn't go over, I'll pick my brother up at the hospital later. Okay.
Okay, we need an hour.
Well,
Fingers crossed. All right, keep us posted, please. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
it's, you know, I understand things change, but, I mean, that's why we go out a month or two when we set these
I know,
dates. But what?
Before this date was put in here, we discussed moving it to the 19th, and he reached out to everybody.
Okay.
And I thought we were on the 19th. Somehow this got.
Okay, I was always out the 19th, but that's fine.
Okay, that's fine. All right, we'll figure it out. It might still be the
I
19th.
miss it.
It might still be the
It is.
19th. Okay, we
well,
are.
that answered nothing.
I know. Okay. I'm closing the meeting at 11:09 officially this time. Is that okay?
See everybody tonight.